Okay, if they're fine, but the personality don't match, it ain't no thing for me but a chicken wing. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna like you just like I like Morgan. Shout out to Morgan from previous season, Miami. You know I still got, you know, you look got a little bit of your toxic grip on me. You know what I mean? That poison still suffering around my body. But in reality, you know, you're not thinking long term. You know what I mean? You're just gonna think about short term. Is she a person that has got a great personality, that's gonna be warm, receptive, inviting, loving, caring? That's what we want to know, right? But she's definitely a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person. And she seems to have some level of good vibe and good energy as well. I mean, she made one or two jokes earlier on in the episode. So I'm not mad at it. We're going to wait and see if she's got that. If she's got that spunk that will continue through the course of the process as well. And she doesn't want any kids either anymore, right? So we'll have to wait and see because Domo wants kids. So I don't know how that's gonna work. Okay, all right. So that's another situation right there. And then obviously we have April. I said this before. April was there, but it was May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December that I noticed. I didn't notice April. Okay, yeah, April came and went. Yeah, all right. April's meant to be springtime, but baby, there was nothing springing to mind. I can't lie to you. I don't remember her, and it's not because she's not a beautiful woman. It's not because I'm annoyed at her or anything like that, or I just didn't see anything. Okay, all right. I just didn't see anything. Okay, all right. I just didn't see anything. All right. Someone said I should put up the photos. It's a bit late now. Okay, all right. And it means I have to upload it onto my screen and all that baby bubba. Okay, all right. So let me see if I can get that for you guys. All right. So you have to start learning, guys. You asked me to you need to start learning the names like I'm doing. I'm forcing myself. You have to force yourself too, guys. Okay, you want me to put a whiteboard up there for you guys to put names up behind me so you can see who the people are. You need to learn like I do. You need to go roll back the VT tape and start raffling it down. Okay, all right? Y'all need to start suffering the same way I'm suffering. You want me to make your life so much easier. I need you to go back and also watch the videotape again. Okay, some of us were watching it a couple of times. Okay, all right? You go and watch back a couple of times and get the names correct. All right? Some of you are telling me I'm not even pronouncing the names right. You don't even know who the person I'm even talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah? You can tell I'm well rested, isn't it? You can tell I'm well rested. I can tell I'm well rested. I tell you what, earlier on, I was suffering. Earlier on. I couldn't get nothing out of me. Okay? All right? I couldn't get nothing out of me, but I'm well rested. I feel better. Okay, guys? All right? It's like you're getting this good boy energy. All right? Cool. Okay. All right, cool. Let's see. You say you want me to... let's see. You say you want me to get the names up, okay? Because y'all don't want to do the work, because you want to you want to sit on the bench and someone else does the work for you. But no worries, I will do that for you guys. Let me get that on the screen, okay? Because the kind of man that I am. Okay, let me get that on the screen for you. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, let me bring that up for you. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, all right. Do you see that? Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, cool. So, okay, who was I talking about? Shoot, this is even helping me. I can't lie to you. I should have done this earlier because I needed to help myself. All right, cool. So obviously, where's April? Because I was just want April. Okay, April's here. Really, really cool. I guess it was a dress I wasn't really feeling. It's given December, but we're in April, and I wasn't really feeling it. The ruffling of the feathers, wasn't really feeling it. Wasn't my vibe. But she had a bit of a funny, like a humor to her. I kind of like that, She had a bit of a humor to her, So shout out to her. Then we have Alexis, national sales operator Alexis with the kinky curls. Okay, all right, with a nice little smile. And I loved what she was wearing. The pink was very, very nice. What she was wearing. Okay, and I felt like watching her. It was nice to see. I think she's got a good energy about her. Someone said you can't see the top row of photos. Why can't you see the photos? Can you see the photos now, guys? Or is it blurry? Is it blurry? Is it blurry? Is it blurry? It's cut off the top. Oh, hold on. Is that it? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see it now? Is it still cut off? God damn, what's this thing doing? From my angle, I can see it. Why? Okay, hold on. We're going to get his photos for you guys. I apologize. We're going to get his photos for you. We're going to get his photos, okay? All right, we're going to get his photos, okay? All right. Someone says scroll up a wee bit. Okay, let me get these photos for you. Can you see it now? All right. Can you see it now? All right. Can you see it now, guys? Yeah? Can you see it? Oh, you can't see it? What's going on? Oh, sorry. Hold on. I think there's something up with my system. Hold on. There's something up with my system. I apologize, guys. I apologize. There's something up with my system. For some reason, it's not moving. For some reason, I don't know why. I'm scrolling up, but that's not what it's looking like. So hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I actually scrolled up. Guys. It just was not trying to correspond with me. It was the internet was trying to move mad. Hold on. We're gonna do that again. See what I'm trying to say to you, guys? If you had left me we wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Let me gaslight you guys for a few seconds. This wouldn't be happening. Okay? This wouldn't be happening if you guys just left me to my devices. You decided you wanted to see it. Bam! There we go. Okay? Can you see that? Can y'all see that? Yeah? Is that clear? Okay? All right? Okay, so there you go. All right? There you go. Can you see that now? Yeah, fantastic now. All right? See? This wouldn't be happening if you guys had just left us the device and let me just talk about the people. But you wanted me to be here, so now this is your fault. So, as well. In the situation. Okay? All right, cool. Yes. Okay, back to Alexis. Alexis was cool. I liked her vibe, liked her energy, as well. Okay. She was good energy as well. All right. Then the last person, I hope it moves because this thing is nuts. KOSHEIA, concede. Yes, she is a handful. Concede. And she is going to bring the heat to the table. And I think she's going to be the one that is going to cause the carnage we need this particular season. I hope that she keeps it classy, keeps it cute, and keeps it carnage, okay? You can do classy carnage, you know what I'm saying to you? Remember Divine and Alexis? That was classy carnage, you know? I want to see some classy carnage, okay? Know how to pop it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Conscience. Okay, stop. Let me stop. All right, cool. So listen, that's all the people I've spoken about so far. You now know who they are as well. So she's 36, machine learning program as well. She's a beautiful lady, to be honest. We've got Mikia, Micra. Milika, Miwanta. Shout out to her. All right, cool. Listen, let's get the show on the way. I've got Jay and JR behind the scenes. I know they're ready to talk. Sean is late, which means he owes me $10 because he wasn't going to be on time. I gave him a 10-minute, thingy. He lost a bet. So Sean, pay up. Okay, pay up. Pay my PayPal. Can't do it on Cash App anymore. They blocked us from UK. So. Let's get into this situation, okay? All right, cool, great stuff. Let me get Mr. VIP, who's I don't know what he's doing. JR. So he pulling out the suit jacket. Okay, he said, I'm gonna feel crispy and toasty in my house, baby. All right, cool. So listen, JR. I'm sure Sean will join in a second or two as well. And there, look at Sean joining now. Look at that. Look at Sean joining now. Let's give him a round of applause, guys. Let's give him a round of applause. Not you being late when you're in the same house as Mr. VIP, huh? Y'all didn't get a moment together?
No, run me my money. I was here right on time. Don't play with me.
No, you You better run me my money. I did $10. You gonna owe me breakfast when I see you, bro. Nah, it's good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Listen, let's start the show. Listen, this episode was interesting, and I'm intrigued to find out. Is Sean frozen? I'm intrigued. It's a good photo though. I'm intrigued to find out your perspectives on this and get a different angle. So JR, good seeing you as well, bro. JR, let me get to you first. JR, what was your thoughts on this episode? What did you garnish from this episode?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. First of all, yeah, like I kind of like the changes to the format. You know, like introducing the first 10, seeing how they get on first. Um, what I didn't like though is the fact that they eliminated someone who hasn't got to meet the rest of the cast that will be coming in next week. Before they kind of eliminated the dude too early, but yeah, like a mixed bag. Um, you can see straight away who the ladies are gravitating towards, and you can see who they're not feeling. Um, and I have to say, when I saw some of the ages and the occupations, that also like raised some concern with me as well. You know, that you got people 31 and comedians and things like that. It's not going to be sustainable in the ready to love format because a lot of the ladies are looking for men who have established careers, right? And they don't want that instability as we've seen before. So yeah, a bit of the same, but I like the changes.
Jay, what's your thoughts, man?
First, I want to say, JR, you in witness protection like that man's 4 children? Because you missing like the 4 children. Are you the 5th? What's
We
going
can't
on
even
with
see
the
the light.
What's going on with the lighting?
Okay, I can make it brighter. I got my light. I got my spotlight right here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we starting off early with the mess, I see, because my girl KOSHEIA, I know this is Sean's little crush right now, but sweetie, she needs some help and Sean needs some help too for crushing on this woman, okay? So she is out of control already. She is a strong personality. Actually, 3 of the 5 women right now is giving strong personality. So we're gonna see how this is gonna go. She ready to shake some tables and whatnot. People ain't paying attention to kids being in the picture. However, they could tell you they can lean in and figure it out. You figure that one out, okay? I don't know what Ready to Love is doing with these men. They don't show up. They show up and show out. They show up without jobs. I don't know what's happening. We got a lot going on. We got to figure out this new format. I'm not totally mad at. I was like JR. I'm kind of like, it kind of takes away from somebody potentially finding that person out of the other half. However, being that I feel like they're going to come in and have the same thing with the women, it's still kind of equal. But I do like it because it's less people for us to focus on at one time. So it's a little bit better, at least for our standpoint. I don't know about the contestants.
Listen, I stand on business. I was on time, okay? As soon as you called, I was ready. So there's that. You can shake your head no, Jay. And I love you in the green, but I was here.
It's 20. It says 20 minutes this live started, and it was 10 minutes after.
I wasn't supposed to be here when he started. He was doing his intro, and then when it was time to pull on the panelists, I was right there.
No,
I'm supposed to be sitting in the background?
Yes.
I'm supposed to be sitting at, no, we don't do that around here. No.
You could at least been in the chat, said I'm here.
I was in the chat.
No, you wasn't.
Yes, I was. I told Kojo he's showing out when he was fussing at people about not putting up the pictures.
That's late, Sean.
Jay,
That's
I'm
late.
I'm not going to debate.
He said, cut it out.
I'm not going to debate this with
then
you.
Don't debate it. Just go ahead and send the man his money.
He said, cut it out, Jay.
Anything. I want my money. Okay.
Because Sean likes to push the goalposts.
I'm not sending him. Thank you, Aries.
Send him his money.
Love me some Aries, boy.
Run me my money.
Don't you make me come to Dallas, girl.
He was not in the chat. Okay, Aries will pay his bill. Aries must be paying his bill.
Aries is my rider. Yo, our friendship is forged right now. I love this.
I'm glad it is because she must be paying your bill.
No. I wouldn't put Aries out there like that, you know. She needs stability in her friendships.
Them feet rubs must be nice, Sean. Them feet rubs must be nice.
Oh, good times. So yeah, to the cast members, I mean, listen, this is gonna be a bumpy ride. I see that. I'm glad for the new format though. At least it mixes it up. I'm telling y'all right now, Glenn was not in that car. He was not in that 7 Series BMW. I'm telling you, the windows was tinted black. He was not in the car. So just just stop it. Kojo, I know you said they faking, they're gonna bring him back. No, they're not. Glenn is gone. And he was never in the car. homeboy, homeboy was nervous as hell. I'm not even sure why they aired the footage, and that's why production is messy as hell. If he wasn't gonna make it, they should have just left him where he was. But to air him out like that with him stumbling and fumbling through that confessional, now he can talk like that in front of one camera. How's he gonna do in front of the ladies and a bunch of cameras and production? Poor guy. I feel bad for him, but thankfully we uncovered that really soon. The other dude, Will, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Corey from is it the DC or the Potomac season? The guy that was doing the 999 dates. Whatever season of DC they had, that Will reminds me. He looks like him, and he also acts like him. Similar personality. I don't think his days are gonna be too long with us. He was touching on the ladies, making them feel awkward and uncomfortable. Yeah, it's not gonna go well for old boy. I would have hoped he would have learned. The cringy behavior does not last long. Who else was interesting? What interesting takes did I have? Every season I think this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have the unpopular opinion person, and for right now, KOSHEIA is my unpopular opinion. I'm rooting for her. I love that. If she would have leaned into me, I'd have been weak in my low knees. If she would have leaned in and said, why I'm looking at you, why I leaned into you like that. No, please tell me why. I am so interested. I'm intrigued. I don't like the fighting. I don't like the threats of fighting and all that stuff. That's a little problematic to me, but I'm gonna give her some grace, and maybe she'll have a little change of heart and realize that behavior is unacceptable. And KOSHEIA, we can talk behind the scenes. I can coach you through some anger management. I got your back. I can help you out.
All Sean gonna do is test you at the final round. Sean is gonna be that final boss for your anger management every single time.
Me and Sean like a little toxic queen, so I just couldn't roll with you on this one. She hasn't got enough of the pizzazz that I require to make me oversee the toxicity. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, the chocolate. She don't got enough of
I need a bit more.
The melanation for you to sway you.
Okay, I was like, she got the curves. She definitely got the
curves. It's the melanation. It's the melanation. Yeah. Oh, and when she put when she took them shoes off and she put the feet in the hot tub, woo!
That was a good move. I can't lie to you. When she did that, I thought it was a little. I like the move.
Right there.
Wait, JR. I did like the move. JR. She about to hide her kids from Sean.
Listen, hide the kids from Sean and hide the feet from Sean as well. Hide the toes from Sean too.
Yeah, I think that would have did it. And oh boy, I felt bad for him. He was down bad. I forgot about him. What was his name? Whatever the guy, the fashion designer guy.
Oh, is it DeMonte? What's his name? DeMonte?
Yes, that's it.
So that's Diamante.
Once the girls, I think it was Alexis. I like her too. I like her spirit. But when they were at that table and she was asking him for fashion advice, no.
Yeah.
Don't you never want the girls to be asking you for fashion advice as a guy. It just puts you in girlfriend zone, friend zone. Yeah. I would have just said, baby girl, you look good just the way you are. Just the way you're perfect. Let's end this. I ain't gonna be giving you accessories and doing all that talking. And then Mika called him a nutcracker.
The nutcracker from Christmas.
Listen, listen. If you're saying you're going to be backing, Conscience all season long, I am going to be backing Milika all season long. Okay, no matter what she does, I'm gonna be right behind her, literally right behind her, and pushing her all the way. Okay, all right.
Say these names
Milika,
again. Say these
huh?
names.
Milika,
It
Milika, and
was it
Conscience.
was it caution.
Conscience.
Who's Conscience? What?
Kiosha.
Kiosha. Oh, Kiosha. I'm not sure which one of it, but it's definitely
Koshia. I'm
not
sorry,
Conscience.
Koshia.
It's
It's
definitely
Koshia.
not kosher either at this point. So let me tell you that now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right.
And I thought her
Gonna have
name
you
was Mika.
circumcised before you
I thought
know.
it was Mika, or is it
It's
Mika? What is it?
Mika.
Oh,
It's
I thought it
Mika.
was.
I think it's Mika.
Yeah, but he likes her, so it's Milika.
Malika. Yes, Malika indeedy. Okay.
Oh, Aaron's got the
Malika.
phonetical breakdown. Koshia. Okay, Koshia. There you go. That's my girl.
I guess it's Japanese.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. All right, so
Conscience.
let's ask
That's
that first.
funny.
Let's ask that first question then. Let's ask that first question. Yeah, Demonte Diamond. Why do you think he had to go first? Like, what do you feel like he didn't do correctly, or what do you feel like maybe he didn't do enough of that let him be let go? Let go and let God, as they say. And God parted the seas for him to walk right through and out those gates, because you got to go. So, what's your guys' thoughts? Why is it that someone said bad credit? That could be a reason why. What is it that you saw? What is it that you might have observed that you think that's why they had to let Diamante go? Yeah, Jay, I see you ready. Go on. What
Well,
did you see?
I think it was the bad credit plus him being a photographer and the fashion stylist is not stable. So that was a big turn off straight away for them. And then obviously they dissed his outfit too. So, you know, like four major things. Um, Credit's always going to be a bad one. And he didn't have enough to recover in other areas from what we saw. So, yeah, I'm not surprised he was going home. Actually, I'll tell a lie. I did think the comedian would be up there for elimination for sure. Because he's got like a couple kids and he's a comedian, so money's going to be tight with him. But yeah, right choice. Just too early.
Just too early. I hear that. Jay, what's your thoughts on this, man? Diamante, he had to go.
Let Sean go first, because I'm gonna get a women's perspective. Go ahead.
Ooh, okay. Sean, what happened to Diamante? Why was he demoted?
Well, I kind of mentioned it a little bit. I think, he was too talkative about himself, too much talking about the fashion, and not really getting to know the ladies. I think that just always, when you come in peacocking too soon, I think men, we have it's a fine line with us and like being attention seeking. And I think you have to have the right personality and charisma to back that up. If you're like a peacock, meaning like you really dress flamboyant and you wear things to get attention. If your personality doesn't match, a lot of women I've found just they're gonna feel like you're soaking up all the attention and it's too much. So he didn't have the personality to balance it, and he wasn't stable. The brother came in talking about he's a fashion stylist, whoop-de whoop-de whoop whoop whoop. But then he only did 7 fashion shows, so it sounded like he was like newer in his fashion career. So I'm like, bro, maybe you should have just left that out. Like, is that what you're really doing? Is that a hobby? Is that a side hustle? Things of that nature. So I think that's kind of what messed him up. And I had to go listen to the replay, and I heard him talking about his credit. Yeah, we need to go easy on sharing. Let him know you first, bro. He needs to go to, Dusty 101, and you got to get him locked in before you share your information with them, especially if it's, your credit ain't where the credit needs to be. Yeah, you need to just don't give that all up at the mixer, because
I'm wondering why he actually why he shared that. I don't know if one of the ladies asked him a question. I have a feeling production set him up with that. Someone was there going, ask them about the credit. Ask them about the credit. And send them to the gulag in that respect. But yeah, it was a little bit early to probably say that particular. Especially if your credit isn't great, I mean, if your credit is amazing, then you say, hey, yeah, look, my credit's great. Listen, but I don't want to talk about that, But it's like if your credit's bad, it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to talk about it now. He doesn't win. Whoever asks that question, he never wins. Because if he doesn't answer it today, tomorrow is going to be worse. I can guarantee. Because once he says, oh, no, I don't want to talk about it right now, they're going to be like, in the back of their minds, going to be like, well, it must be bad because if it was good, you would have said it. Do you get what I'm saying? To like, you don't win. So whoever asks the question, send him to the gulag. Okay, that person is bad mind for that. Okay, I don't know if it was production or whether that was conscience, again, being conscious about what she's trying to do and set him up. I don't know. But she opened that floodgate for him to be decimated. And because you can't ask that question. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's nuts as well. So, yeah, but yes, having that level of bad credit at this age, it's not great in this particular environment. I think it is when you're trying to put your best foot forward. Yes, Jay, give us the lady's perspective as well.
I agree with y'all saying the bad credit in this late in the game is not always a good thing, especially when you don't have a job to compensate for the credit, the debt, whatever you got going on. That's one red flag. Two, you have rich man spirit on a poor man's mentality. Meaning you're coming up in here flashy dressed and all this stuff like that, but you ain't got your ins and outs in the background. Your count is not right. That's also a bad thing. Three, you don't listen, nor when you got the opportunity to actually speak on self, you take that opportunity to do so. But any other time you speaking on self. When the tattoo situation come up, that's the perfect time. You just got through telling her, you don't listen to yourself. So you just got through telling her, all my tattoos mean something. Literally. I can tell you what all my tattoos mean. Most people that get every last tattoo can have a full body cover up of tattoos and can tell you what every last tattoo mean. This one on my hand, I should be able to look at my hand and say, oh yeah, this one right here, I got this such and such, such. Just for you to dismiss me and say, I don't know about that, I can't remember. We already know we about to start having problems through the whole relationship with that, okay? 3 or 4, I don't know what number I'm on now because it's a problem. We got too many numbers already. We just finished the game on how much do you know about these ladies. You're talking about how intentional you're going to be to get to know these ladies. And what you do is have every conversation about self right afterwards. What is happening? What is really happening? Not only that, you're critiquing everybody's fashion up in here. You're walking in and critiquing all the ladies' fashion. Don't nobody want to come down and be broken down at the mixer. That's all bad. So it was just a combination of a whole bunch of stuff for this man that put him at the bottom and eventually got him off the show. So I don't know. Everything y'all said, especially Sean, the first thing you started with, absolutely right. Like my man is off. So bye.
Yeah, listen, I think he was a little bit, I don't know. The energy was a little bit, yep, pause. But the energy was a little, yeah. And, I just felt like he didn't really convey, or at least the clips that they showed really didn't convey him really getting to grips with anybody else apart from himself. So there wasn't really any conversation where you hear him really exploring with anybody else about them. It always seems to come back to him. Now, sometimes that can be a little bit of nervousness. You're trying to put your best foot forward and you overcompensate. Or sometimes you really are egotistical and all you know about is yourself, right? I don't know if it's either one personally, but what I would say is that literally for me personally with him, I just felt like he just didn't really bring a lot to the table in terms of being well presented. Yes, Jay, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll say one more thing, because he came in, and his whole thing when he came in is talking about how his confidence is this and his confidence is that. And we also know that a lot of times when we start talking about confidence, a lot of times we either don't have it or we are trying to convince people that we're actually not arrogant. So I was like, is he confident or is he actually arrogant? But since he started talking about himself, I'm like, okay, you're not confident. You're just an arrogant type brother. And it probably came off to the ladies as well. So I don't know.
Yep, I hear that. Any more thoughts on Diamante? Sorry. Diamante's demonetized. All right, cool. Let's move on. Next person we got to talk about.
You're fully activated this evening, I see.
I love it. We need to get you more rest more often, buddy.
I need that. That's what I'm saying. Get that good rest. You're gonna see a different me, B. I tell you. Let's move it on. Let's move on to into Laron and Conscience, Sean's favorite people. Listen, Laron and Conscience, their situation. Look, she was like, look into my eyes. Look around my eyes. Don't look at my eyes. Look around. Look into my eyes. Yeah. Remember, Mr. VIP will know. Mr. Demon Headmaster. That's what he used to do. That is what he's like. Look into my eyes. Don't look at my eyes. Look into my eyes. That's what she was trying to do to him. She's trying to put that voodoo, that that hypnotic energy on the old boy about I'm leaning in and I'm breaking them walls. We already said we're not breaking walls in 2024. Okay, all right. We're not breaking them. We're not climbing them, and we sure ain't sliding down them. Okay. So listen, I'm gonna need Conscience to leave it alone. Okay. All right. But I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. Laron and Conscience, that situation right there. I know she put her feet in the water like she was a Disney character. Okay, all right. About to kiss her frog. But let's be real. How did you actually see that scene and that scenario? I feel like she is going to take his soul from his body. Like he is going to right out of his body. I just feel it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So what's your guys' thoughts to that situation? I'll let Sean go first. Go on for it, Sean. The defense will rest.
Yes. Well, listen. It just depends. I mean, it seems fun, but I don't know about it in the moment, how I might react, because I'm a little funny with my personal space, especially if I don't know somebody. So I'm not sure how I would react. I want somebody to do that to me and see how I react. I probably, my eyes will probably cross or something. I'm really not sure. But if she leans in really close and we catch the vibe, I might just kiss her. I don't know, because if we catch a vibe, I look at you, you lean into me like that. I look at your eyes, you look at mine, and we catch a vibe. I might just give you a little kiss. I don't know. It's an interesting tactic. I've never seen anything like that before, and I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. There's an Anita Baker song, "Caught Up in the Rapture of Love." I might be caught up. I might be caught up.
I hear you, Sean. If she leans in, you might lean in too. All right, and you're gonna find out she's gonna slap you and be like, What give you the thought that I was trying to kiss you? Yeah, that's the kind of girl she is. She's a game player. Can't lie to you.
I said if we catch the vibe. I didn't just say you lean in, I'm gonna kiss you. If we lock eyes, you catch the vibe. I've never been accused of kissing somebody.
I'm not saying you are gonna be.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think she. Oh, that's what she's trying to do?
She has a plan, not you. Yeah, I'm not saying that you. It's not you the problem. She has a plan.
Yeah, maybe. Listen, you never know. There's always a first time for everything.
You're going to be down bad. Mr. VIP, you're going to be calling me from the jail cell. Mr. VIP, talk to me about what your thoughts were with Laron and Conscience, because Sean clearly doesn't mind Conscience leaning into his soul and his body like she the Holy Spirit. But what's your thoughts on that scenario between Laron and Conscience?
At first, I thought she was trying to be assertive and kind of lean into to get the kiss or whatever. But then when she asked him, "What do you think I was leaning in for?" and he said, because you wanted a kiss, she was like, "No." So she, that would have definitely set him up to be sent home if he had tried to do anything about that. He would have got labeled. So it's a good thing he was restrained. And but I thought it was a weird tactic. Why would you want to go and invade somebody's personal space like that after knowing them just a few seconds, like a few moments? But I also think she was definitely being assertive and showing that she is very interested in LaRon. He likes her, but I think this guy is going to be one of the more popular guys on the cast. From what we've seen so far, he seemed to be very attentive. Like he finished I think he finished second in the game. So he's been paying attention to the people that he's been talking to. And I don't necessarily think that at this stage he has anything really to be concerned about. But she's already given off signs from the clips and the previews that there's some unhinged stuff going on with her. And I'm not sure where the memo like that went out, because I missed it. Like, how is it that people think, especially ladies, why do you think that hostility, like negativity and pushing buttons all the time is sexy or going to land you the guy that you want? It isn't. It's not going to happen. So if she acts up and does anything crazy, I'm sure he's going to have other ladies around there that are going to be a lot more respectful of his boundaries and probably have more of a connection with. But she has to play it careful, because I saw also how she switched when she was asked about her. That's the one that has the kids. She was married to the guy who had 4 kids behind her back, right? So, yeah, like she has to be careful with that.
I hear that. Real Glenn.
Yo, what's up, man? How y'all doing? But she's giving me Camille vibes, man. She latched on. She latched on to LeBron. It's like, this my dude. Don't touch him. Don't say nothing about him. Don't get rid of him. Don't do any of that. Don't say nothing. If she don't put a clause in. Coach did it. She don't put a clause. It's like, this is don't touch area whatsoever. And LeBron's like, yo, if she was gonna kiss him, he was down for it, because that's the type of guy he was. I think that's the one who was like, he goes to the club to just take pictures of pretty girls, right? So that's what he wanted to do. That's his lifestyle. He's a party guy. He's the club guy. So if she was gonna give him a kiss and she was gonna let him kiss him, he would have did it. He would have did it. So that's kind of, as I think Mr. V, like 30 minutes together, 40 minutes together, and you ready to kiss this young lady already? Like, bruh, there's something going on with you, and there's something going on with her. If she had allowed him to kiss her, with probably not even knowing his last name at this point, or what he does for a living. So there's some issues there, but I see some cleanliness, and she's already latched in, and she's in for the long haul. Don't vote against him. Do not try to put him out, because you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems, and she's hooked in after like one day. This is her top, and she's not going with anybody else. So there's some issues.
You know what, Glenn? At first, when you said no, not Camille, when you said Camille, I was like, no. By the way, congratulations to them. They are engaged. But it reminds me of the time when we met Camille in DC. And I think I maybe this is something to examine, Jay, and you've been saying it. I need to look into this. I think I need some help, because I remember when we met her, and she I was like hot on her all season, just like, calling her out for her behavior, rightfully so for the most part. And she stopped me, and she was like, it just caught me so off guard, and I was like a little puppy dog. So yeah. She won me over, and I left her alone ever since. And now I'm just wishing her well. But yeah, so maybe I have some things to address with my therapist. I'm gonna write this down.
Trying to validate his newfound love for Camille to be with Kia. No, Sean. She is not a Camille. If anything, she is Zadia. If anything, she is Zadia. No, if anything, she's a Zadia. And why I say this right now is the way Zadia was on Kim, the Lulu, telling lies to herself or whatever and stuff like that. The fact that you can have a whole husband and not meet one child is a whole problem. Okay, so my girl is not a Camille. Camille definitely gonna do her due diligence to figure out if you got some kids in the background real quick. Camille gonna be a little thorough. Is given what my guy said, demonetized. Okay, like you get hooked on a person, a thing, or whatever, and you're hooked on a player right now. The guy that said he's out from Wednesday to Sunday, that's your man. That's your guy. That's who you want to fight for. So you ain't had enough torture in your life, self-inflicted torture. You have not had enough in your life that you want to go for the second round of the BS. That's who you want to hook onto. Why you hook onto those type of people? Because you like a challenge. You want to be able to change people's lives. You see this man and feel like he's not going to be easy or whatever, and an easy catch. Is going to be a whole bunch of other women that wants him and all these type of things. And you can be the number one. You can be his prize. You can win him or whatever and stuff like that. But most of the time, what you're doing is playing yourself. And that's what she's going to end up doing. Right now, she might be in his top 5 because he only met 5. When the other 5 come, we're going to see. She's ready to shake tables for this man right now. Okay. All right, sis, we're going to see. Table going to be flipped by week 3. Guaranteed table be flipped.
I hear that 100%. I hear that. What's your thoughts to LaRon then, guys? Like he said, I was someone's put in a chat. He said he partied from Sunday to Wednesday. He's a bit of a party boy in that sense. Whatever. What's your thoughts to him? Serious candidate, not serious candidate? Can we see him going far? I mean, he seemed to be attentive to the ladies at least. I mean, he was in the competition. He got like 7 answers or whatever as well. So he did quite well in that respect. But what's your thoughts to LaRon then in the situation?
Well, Sean, I'm sorry.
I think LaRon is definitely.
Oh.
No, go ahead, Jay.
I think Jay was first.
I was gonna say, Sean, sorry, because if he stays hooked on to KOSHEIA, that might be his ticket. She might help him to the promised land. Because my man said he don't know where to find the women's at. Yet he was in the bathroom with 2 of them in his little behind the scenes promo thing. So I'm like, you don't know where to find the women at, but you at the clubs from Wednesday to Sunday. Okay. I forgot what this man has done in real life. Listen. But he did say he looking for a woman to keep him in the house. He liked KOSHEIA because she was a Southern type that looks like she can bake and do all these other things. I don't know if her attitude would keep him home. However, some other assets she might provide might keep him in-house a little from... He might keep him in house Wednesday and Thursday, but he might still be out in them streets Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So he'll be looking for his weekend. Don't worry.
Yeah. Listen, he's fully living that single life. And the type of ladies that he's meeting in these clubs, they ain't the type that he's looking for in terms of relationship. They're just good time girls, right? That's what I got from it. So when he's in the bathroom with the 2 ladies making videos and stuff like that, yeah, fun times out there mingling, meeting new ladies and stuff. But he knows deep down that if he does want a relationship, he's gonna have to turn that completely off, because no girl is gonna want to have a relationship with a man that's out partying 5 days of the week. That's crazy. Some will have a problem with you being out the house once or twice a month. You feel what I'm saying? They want you to be all about them. So, yeah, I just think he's been living a single life. I think it was very candid and very open of him to say, look, he hasn't found, the type of lady he's looking for, which is why he's out there playing the field like that. It's common, right? Sometimes it takes a very special lady to come into your life in order for you to be like, you know what, I'm going to just lock it all down and I'm going to dedicate all my time and attention to this one lady. But the downside is if she mismanages that time, then you're gonna force him back out onto the clubs again. So I think he needs to definitely do some due diligence and not fall fast into a situation. And take his time to get to know some of these ladies, the ladies he hasn't met yet. Like, they still stand a chance. Don't get locked into my girl trying to put the whole serpent lady stare into his eyes. What's her name? Gorgonzola, where her name is, trying to hypnotize him. He's got to definitely make sure that he, enjoys the process, because it's going to be hard to come from that party life 5 days a week and lock it down into a relationship.
You called her Gorgonzola? JR, a whole cheese?
Yeah, like I forgot what the serpent. What's the lady with the snake head and all of that that hypnotized the guys in Roman times?
Medusa.
Medusa.
Medusa. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like so. Yeah, like
Man
that
said
whole Medusa
Gorgonzola.
tip. Like
Gorgonzola.
yeah, like, but you know, like that whole hypnotized. It's I can see why she's trying to do it to try and break the ice and get close, but it was just an off-key tactic, and I hope he doesn't fall for it. I hope he doesn't do what Cornelius does and get trapped and get locked in early, and you can't enjoy the process. That would just ruin it. I don't want him to do that. I want him to
JR,
definitely go out and try the different ladies. Yeah.
how you done got on my boo, KOSHEIA, and we supposed to be talking about LaRon? You found a way to
No,
talk about
because
my baby girl.
no, but the thing is,
You know how JR locks in.
Once he looks in,
LaRon,
he can't stop.
listen,
He
LaRon
said 2 words
is
about old boy,
the
but he
object
is
of her
unloading
affection
clips on my
early,
baby
right?
girl.
No, but I'm saying she's locked in on him early. So I'm saying, listen, he needs to avoid all of that and try and not have tunnel vision and date the rest of the ladies. That's all. I'm not firing on your homegirl. Like I'm saying that he should enjoy the process. Don't fall victim to it so early. That's my point.
he is a party guy. I don't think there's nobody on that show can stop his behavior. I mean, if you're doing this from Wednesday to Sunday, and I think that's my ask what his job was, assistance operations. That's what they put. All right, that's what he enjoys. There's no woman's gonna stop. There's no woman who's gonna stop you from doing that. Especially not here. He's not ready for love. He's here to just have a good time. He's here to mix and mingle, see who he can mingle with. And when he meet the other 5 women, or however, I think it's the other 10 women, he's gonna find somebody else. And that's what he's a playboy. We already had 2 women, right? So he's looking for options. He's looking for choices. So and he's just waiting for the right choice to come along. And when he finds that right choice, he'll leave KOSHEIA alone. And it's probably why she'll get upset, because she'll see him dibbling and dabbling with other women, and she probably can't handle it, thinking that she's already locked in. Because that's his nature, right? His nature is to mess with multiple women or to be around multiple women. So it has to take a special woman or a special connection to change his behavior. And he's going to have to want to change his behavior. A woman can't change it. He's going to have to change his behavior for a person that's there. And I don't think that person is there yet, because he loves to have a good time. He loves to party. Yeah, he's very attentive to the women, but that's a part of his trick. That's a part of his ploy. That's part of his play. I'll be very attentive. I'll listen to you. I can tell you what you want to hear. I can remember everything that you talk about. But I'm also listening to her. I'm listening to her. I'm listening to her. And I'm listening to her. And so whatever way you want to go, I can go that way. I can maneuver in that realm because I'm very attentive. And again, you call her the snake, Medusa, he might be the Medusa because he's playing everybody on the show as of right now. So that's how LaRon is.
Well, damn. Tell you how you really feel, Glenn. Mm-hmm. Shots. Mercedes, I don't know if you're there.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can indeed.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna hop right on in. Are we talking about LaRon? Is that the game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so LaRon for me reminds me of what's the guy from last season? And he was like, what did he say? It's like I don't want to misquote what she said, but it went viral. It's like a thought or something along that line. Is that what she called it?
Unique.
Oh.
Unique said it about Red.
Thought job or something like that. And I think it kind of compares to like even Lyndon, so all of these are men who are in quote unquote nightlife, who are trying to find love, do whatever. But I think if you go so far as to put that into your personal edit on the very first episode, like they're doing that for a reason, to kind of tee you up for what is to come. So I think that this behavior, I think that type of, that's going to be his character. So I think he's either going to have a hard time breaking away from that, or he's going to play right into that, like Glenn was saying, and things like that. So I'm hopeful because, like people who work at the club need to find love too. Strippers need to find love. Club promoters and bartender, everybody deserves love. I hope he plays into it the right way. So that is my hope for him. But he's not gonna get locked down too early. She may try to lock him down, but I don't foresee him being easy to catch. So
Wait, close your mic real quick, Mercedes. It's gonna have echo. I'm confused. I thought he was a systems operator. Did he say he was in the nightlife too, or he just?
I thought LaRon was the boy who's the he said that he isn't that the one who works at the club 3 days after.
No, he's the systems operator.
He just lives in the
but
club.
he spends all his spare time in the club, like 5 days a week.
Spare time in the club. So
That's probably why you got the impression, because he said he'd be in the club 4 or 5 days a week.
Oh, that's just voluntarily.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sad. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't getting paid for that.
Oh, he's not there for employment. Okay.
No, for enjoyment.
Oh
No.
Okay.
He better link with DeMonte and get that camera skills up so he can start getting some pay.
Or Will, and they could do a stand-up, start a production company or something.
Listen, he spent his time in the ladies' bathroom 5 days a week taking pictures of girls in there.
Well, on that note, I'm just gonna say no comment then. I wish the best for him. I hope that he finds other hobbies to do during the week. Like, there's so much more. Like, you don't want to read, you don't want to go swimming. Like, okay.
Swimming.
Hey,
You like, find a hobby, huh?
No, Sean, I'm not the swimming though. The women is at the swimming though.
That's it.
He can be there.
He ain't gonna find no black women in no swimming pool now.
But he also said,
Listen, my mama go to old lady aerobics in the morning. She be in the pool. Like, black people do go to the pool occasionally.
Too funny. Yeah, I think we all said it, but he's kind of young too, so I guess I'll give him a little grace. He's 31. He's 31. On the thing, it says 31, Jay.
and then on the show it had it 41. That child, they're gonna confuse us all day long.
No, he's 31. And
Okay.
he acts
he's
like
31.
he's in his
He's
early
31.
30s too. So
Okay.
I mean,
Well, listen, they also said William is just a comedian, but then on the if you look on the program where the pictures are, they say he's in Air Force or something with military. So I don't know what's going on.
oh well, he did say that. He said
Yeah,
he was
he
in
did
the
mention it.
Army
He mentioned
Reserves.
Okay.
Yeah, I also saw somewhere where he's a financial analyst as well. William got multi jobs.
And he wants to own a gun store, right? And
Yeah, he has ambitions.
Oh Lord, I done upset the black women swimming delegation. All right, y'all, I take it back. Okay, black women love to swim. They
We
love
actually
to get their
do,
hair wet.
Sean. You see me in that pool. You see me like a fish in that pool. Actually, every last one of us was in the pool at Jamaica. How dare you? How dare you?
No, y'all wasn't. Y'all had your feet in the pool.
No, we was
Y'all
fully
wasn't
in that
swimming.
pool because we was at the bar drinking and everything. The pool bar.
I don't remember anybody's head getting submerged, but I understand.
Mine was all in the ocean.
Okay, but just of the pool and water. Have y'all ever noticed the difference between a quote unquote majority black pool party versus a different type of pool party?
Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you.
We do. Sorry, from the edge. Everybody stay in the shallow end. Nobody's getting
exactly
outfits, the cover ups. Like
because
that's
they just got their hair done for the party part. They didn't go for the pool part. Well, we know them parties don't just when the pool, everybody get out the pool, everybody go home. We know that the party continues for the black folks. So we ain't be damned. We don't have our hair messed up for the rest of the party.
We were in a whole island, and I think Jay was the only one that got fully submerged in the water. No, I take that back. Kat did as well. Kat did.
Okay, but
all of us was jumping off the boat, Sean. Every last one of us was jumping off the boat, but 2 people.
Who?
Me?
My sisters, yes.
Are you a black woman, Kojo?
Kojo in the shadow. Kojo in the shadow wasn't. The shadow wasn't, okay.
Anyway, did not jump into that water. Oh, yes, she did. I stand corrected.
Yes, she
I
did.
stand corrected. She sure did.
My sister even switched wigs for the water.
Hey, now, I love that swim wig, Dre. I'm gonna send you this picture. My friend got a swim wig too. That's a real thing. Like it's a whole vibe.
But y'all right.
Wow.
If we just do a party, we ain't getting in that water.
Where is
Oh,
it?
good
Waterproof.
time. But yes, please. So
Waterproof.
if anybody watching on the replay, don't at me, don't put no comments, don't tell me I'm making us a monolithic society. Yes, I do know Black people swim. I know Black people, are Olympic swimmers. Yes, I know it. I got it. Thank you.
So moving it forward then, since you guys have exhausted LaRon and Conscience, let's shift it on then. We're staying in the Conscience community. She had a conversation with Will, and Will was asking her questions about the 4 children that were suddenly appeared like Houdini had matched them up in a marriage that she was in. We certainly need to know more about the story and what entails, but want to be able to know what's your guys' thoughts. What's your guys' thoughts to this situation? Because she got married, and unfortunately, she found out the husband had 4 kids. Will then went off the deep end, and was asked a question in a particular way that didn't sit right personally with her, and then went ahead and just asked for her social media. And I was like, sir, did you not read the room? Like, did you not see that she wasn't impressed? Did you not see that she wasn't really feeling like? I was just like, what's going on? Like, bro, you're not staying in tune with what's going on. That was a bit weird. But anyway, I want to get you guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about that? Your thoughts to her story, your thoughts to Will's behavior in that situation. What did you guys think to that? Glenn, talk to me, man.
Yo, that's weird to me. How do you not know? How long did you know this guy before you married him? Right? You didn't do your due diligence. You didn't investigate. You didn't go to the family cookout. You didn't go to Thanksgiving dinner. You didn't go to Christmas. There was no auntie to say, girl, he got 4 kids. There was no friends. Nobody knew this guy. It's weird. Like, no one knew. No one said a word that he had 4 kids. First, and you married him, and then you found out he had 4 kids. Like, what did y'all talk about leading up to marriage? Like, what was the conversation about? What was the discussion about? Never once. Hey, by the way, have you ever been married? By the way, do you have kids? You never asked. I mean, there's a lot of questions, and I would like to know the backstory to this, because I really wanted her to say some more stuff to this, right? Because she just said, "Well, he had 4 kids. I didn't know." What does that say about you as a person, that you don't know the person you married? Like, he didn't even invite his own kids to the wedding. There's nobody at the wedding, no drunk uncle, nobody who like, girl, he got 4 kids. You ain't know. Oh, hey, by the way, you can be married. By the way, you can be somebody's stepmom. I'm like, come on, there's a lot to this story that she's saying, and it makes her look bad. It makes her look real bad. To Will point, Will needs to read the room. At this point, he should have just said, "Hey, appreciate you. Thanks for talking. Thank you for conversing with me, but I gotta go." Why ask for social media handles like that's something, and you're not going to use them? You're not. Matter of fact, he asked for her number too, and knowing that you're not going to call. Like, so now you're playing for votes. Now you want her to just keep you around because you think because you're nice. It's not going to work that way. But there's a lot of questions. Boy, she doesn't LeBron because she doesn't read the room, and she don't know what's going on. So this guy must have really been a very nice person, or they got married in Vegas or something, because there's no way in the world I could be around somebody's family or marry somebody and not know if they had 1 kid, more or less than 4 kids. And yeah. And I'm wondering, I also thought about, if he had 4 kids, how many baby mamas did he have? Or is it just one lady with 4 kids? That makes it even worse. And you get married and don't invite your kids to the wedding. But again, that's a whole different dialogue. I want to know the story before I start getting too much deep into it and start making stuff up in my head. But I'll let you guys go.
Nah, I ain't gonna let y'all do my baby girl like this. It is very easy to be deceived, especially, you got to remember, it's the guy. So it's not like he's in custody of the kids. We don't know what the guy's relationship was with the children. He could have went on a vacation somewhere, went down to DR and had a couple babies down there, went to Costa Rica, had a couple babies there. We don't know what's happening, what's the status. So I'm gonna need us to just ease up on her, give her a little grace, because I think that might be putting a little bit too much onto her, especially at the young age of 20, when I believe she was in her early 20s when they got married. So yeah, I'm putting my cape on.
I'm gonna help you like this, Sean. The grace came from Will interjecting himself the way he did, okay? Because there should have been so many other questions asked, except for him sitting there saying that she was demonetized. Listen, I thought the same thing too. I would never tell her that. I might even ask, was the D that good, girl? But however, there would have been so many more questions I would have had to ask. And I fought Will, so she's getting this grace because we don't have those questions answered. I fought Will for not taking that opportunity to find out more and how she got into this position. However, I cannot be trying to give her that much grace when she thinks she knows so much that she can lean into a person and ask them, you know why I leaned into you? Huh? You know why? Because I'm observing, I'm seeing all these things. Like, okay, now I give her this. She might have learned from that prior mistake because she, sure enough, did not want to give Will her number. The man had to snatch her phone out her hand and put it in herself. I hope she pushed block after he finished putting in his information for the Instagram, the phone number, everything else. I hope she blocked every last bit of it because her eyes was definitely saying block. She was rolling the hell out them eyes when he was doing it. Because I was just like, are you serious right now? I don't even know if the story is true. She could have just been telling Will that story to get Will to leave her the hell alone. So, like I said, Will dropped the ball. So that's the grace I would give you, Sean, with her on this. But if this is a true story, sis, the only grace I can give you is that man lives in a whole nother state. His baby mama is in Ecuador or somewhere else. Like she don't even live in this country, because I'm not getting married to nobody and I don't meet his family and his family don't put me in on anything. I'm good for getting in with your mama. Your mama gonna definitely tell me all your business. So
what if the mama don't know?
Lord, this man must be in and out of prison, and every time he get out, he make a baby, because that's the only way his mama is not gonna know. Okay. No. And I'm just curious because she do have kids. I wonder if one of the kids is his, and that's how she found out. So I'm really mad that Will dropped that moment because she was sharing that, and I'm really mad that he just didn't pick up on that to go further so we can get more. So the grace we'll get, we don't know right now what the story is.
Yeah. The reason why Will didn't go deeper with it is because he ain't that serious. He don't care about none of that. He just heard what he heard and immediately just jumped to the most crass situation, right? But listen, let's be real. Ladies, I'm sorry to say it, but you are known to snoop and use that as part of your due diligence or whatever it is, your discernment. You're quite nosy at times. And for a guy to hide 4 kids, yeah, it's giving that she never even went to his house too much. Because what, you didn't see any family photos, you weren't around him when the phone rang. Yeah, you didn't go to any family functions before you got married. There would have been 4 different birthdays, at least birthday parties, things like that. Schooling. Oh man, there's so many different things. So yeah, I'm not really sure if that story is 100% true. She could have just said that to ward off unwanted attention and shut down the connection early. I doubt it. I'm gonna probably lean towards the fact she was very naive or gullible, and if she was snooping, she's a very poor detective, because it took till after getting married to find that all out. So that's not a good reflection on her, no matter who wants to put the cape on for her or not. Like, she has to have some culpability in that too. And I think him asking for the socials, he knows damn well, like, he's not going to be hollering at her to linking or like anything like that. I think he just did it to kind of show some level of interest so that he stays in the process and isn't completely eliminated after what he said to her. So that's what I took from that.
So I know Will, and JR, excuse me, you're right on. He's a Florida boy. So what you have to understand are that they are very straight shooters. So his response, I'm not surprised by. His quickly identifying that she's not going to be the one for me happened. Like all of that transpired within those like 10 seconds of that statement, because again, you know, he doesn't have any children. He wants this perfect, picturesque type of life. If you honestly sit down with Will, he's a God-fearing man, so he's gonna want the whole fairy tale. I think he would date women with children, but I don't really see him taking seriously anybody who does not have children, because he's at the age where he's choosing. He has money. He has, you know, businesses, things going for himself. So I really don't see that in a real sense. I think he might mess around or talk to, but I don't really see the person that he's going to marry having that type of setup that she has. Now, I do think that it's true. I don't think that it was a ploy to get Will out of her face because of her reaction. So if you saw her face, she, you know, like she was embarrassed, you know, by his reaction or his response. So that to me says at least a little bit of it is true. But like Sean was saying, she was in her 20s, and you know, men can have 4 or 5 different girls and nobody know about each other. So especially if he's a non-active father, he could probably have 4 kids and her not know. Especially if he's not an active parent or an active father. It wouldn't have gotten, well, I would pray that that never happens to me, but I'm too nosy for that to be my situation. But I do understand how sometimes women can get into that situation of somebody just completely lying to you about who they are and what they stand for. But let me see. Other than that, not surprised by Will's response. I didn't think that it was cheeky. He's from Miami, so that was actually being nice. That was a cute, kind of quaint response compared to some of the things that they are capable of saying. So I'll put it that way.
No, Merce, I love you, but you know what? If the edit is true, I'm not giving him a pass. There's a way to do it. There's a way to ask a question. That's all. You know, the question wasn't actually an issue. Here's a line of inquiry, which is fair. I just think it's a way to do it that shows a level of wisdom. You know, and I think I said it in my personal review when I said you can shoot and be truthful, but people often use the truth as a weapon and go on like, I'm just being a truthful shooter. No, you're being hurtful. You need to learn how to ask questions that are gonna not only protect the person but protect you too at the same time, right? Because this person's gonna, of course, this situation. I'm not gonna say like, let's say she was being silly. Let's say she was being naive and being stupid about it. But you're talking to a person one-to-one. There is a way you ask the question. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing a review, if he comes out and says it, we ain't gonna say nothing. You're reviewing. Yeah, you say whatever you want. You're impartial to the situation. But when you're in the situation, I think there is a way of doing it, you know, and asking that question. Like even yesterday the other day when I spoke to Don, I said, Don, did the Wi-Fi connect? I don't want to ask you straight. Sometimes you have to use some certain words just to try and get around the situation so that it doesn't seem so intrusive, you know, before it gets to that point. I think he's a cool guy. I just think that if you don't like someone and you're on a show, where's your tact? You know what I mean? Where's your wisdom in this situation? You know, and that's what I would say. I'd say try and find. Someone said ask a few more questions. That's all I would say about it. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I just wish he had a bit more tact about it, because we don't know the full story yet. You know what I mean. So that's all I would say. Again, I don't think he's a bad guy personally.
Yeah, that's why he reminded me of Corey from the DC seasons, because Corey had that awkwardness, kind of like and would kind of say inappropriate things / do inappropriate things, but came off like non-assuming, or like it wasn't like he was trying to hurt somebody's feelings or be inappropriate, but it could be a little bit, it can make somebody cringe, you know, just choosing better word choices. Did he also say to her something about you can't play a player? Did he say that to KOSHEIA? Somebody said that. I don't know if he mentioned that to her.
Who wants to add? I think Merk, you wanted to respond. Merk, go for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just gonna say, of course, there is a way to talk to people. You know, like I can say the same thing 3 different ways on an airplane, and I'm gonna get 3 different responses. But I believe it was JR's point, he doesn't like her. So he offered her none of that decorum. He offered her none of that extensive vocabulary and to speak with her with kindness and grace and to be kind when I can guarantee he probably asked her off as soon as he heard that. Like, he's a kid. Like, look at his face. It was like his face dropped. Everything was real time. So for me, I agree. He should have asked more questions, point of inquiry, dive a little deep. Let me get in a discovery phase. But if I don't want to discover anything, because it doesn't matter what lies behind that, she still has the package that she has, and he didn't want that package. So there would be no need for him to dive deep. I think he's just, again, when you watch him over the season, keep in mind they have a different demeanor, and these are like true native Miami, Florida men from Miami-Dade County, not Fort Lauderdale people, not West Palms. They have a interesting way of communication. So I would just say keep that in the back of your mind, because he's probably going to display a lot of that later on.
Okay. I'm with you on the fact he might not like her. I'm with you on the fact that because he might not like her, he not going to use no couth or no tack or whatever and stuff like that. But to sit here and stop the whole conversation, just be like, put my number in your thing. What's the point if I don't like you? Why do I need your number if I don't like you? Why do we need to exchange anything? And then he took the phone out of her hand. It wasn't just like, oh, let me give you any number so I don't have to worry about it. He like, let me put it in. Why do all that?
Jay, I'm gonna be real. Let's keep it a buck. Just because somebody doesn't maybe see a future with you as a wife, that still doesn't mean that we can't entertain one another in the interim. So that's my loose way of saying that. But I mean, she's pretty. She's not ugly. You on the right time? I'm just saying.
I hear what you said, but at the same time, I'm just like, you was extra thirsty. You was extra thirsty for that part, though. So it's still a bad look. It's still a bad look. And it's just maturity that has to grow. A lot of maturity that has to be done on his part. So I'm with you on that. He's young and all that. He got a lot of growing. Because to even dismiss her, I'm sorry, Glenn, but to even dismiss her the way that he dismissed her, I don't even know how he feel like he would have the chance to get into the draws later. Like,
hey, he thought it was smooth enough. I mean, he lost respect for her. When she said the 4-kid part, he was like, and he was like, idiot, dummy. I mean, in his mind, he was like, boo boo the fool. But he said, but you know what? If you give me the number and we can talk. And his other mind, let's be honest, he was thinking, if that dude could smash, I probably could smash too. And that's the way he was thinking. That's the way he was thinking. If he can smash, I'm gonna take your number because you might have one of the lonely moments, and I'm at least be nice to you. And I probably can smash too. So guess what? This is what I'm gonna try to do, just in case we revisit this. And I really didn't offend you. But she said I had 4 kids and did not know. Or there was 4 kids and he didn't know. He was like, yeah, she foolish. The looks went away. He didn't worry about the dress anymore. His mind was like, that's not the one I want to be with, but her body's okay. And that's the way he was thinking. Like the dude, no disrespect to him, but he's playing for another day. He's playing the long game. And the long game is, I think Mr. VIP said it, and I said it too, I need some votes. I need somebody to keep me around this game a little bit longer, and I don't want to get eliminated. So let me try to at least be nice after I insulted her and see if I can get the number.
It's a bad one out here. I definitely hear you. You know what I mean? I do definitely hear you. I just think to myself, if he didn't like it, then he shouldn't have taken a number after. Like, you know what I mean? It's just dumb. Like, I think to myself, if you're gonna play the game, play the game. You know what I mean? Like, if you insult someone and then try to play, I'll be fair to him and say that after you ask a question, it does cut. So there may have been other questions he asked after. If you watch it, it does cut. So they might have cut off the rest of the questions that he might have asked. But even if it does, at the end, when he does take her phone, her face is telling you everything. She actually she breaks the fourth wall and looks into the camera and is like, what is this dude doing? So whatever he asked after didn't recapture the moment that he thought he might have had to get her number. So I just think to myself, like, again, you know you're on a show, okay, all right, people get eliminated, okay, all right, and we absolutely agree that as men we have dualistic agendas, right? If you thought to yourself, okay, she can't be wifey, but maybe something can happen here and you can get physical, then maybe you need to think about how I'm going to talk to you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe not insult you at the beginning, because that just may be making it a little bit difficult for us to make it work later. And I think then taking her phone and everything like that, it just showed that, again, like, I said the key word again, tact is what is important here. Because not only do you not want to offend her, not just because of the fact that you don't like her, but because you're on a show and you need votes. You know what I mean? At least have a decent conversation. You don't know what she's going to say and take it back to the rest of the ladies. You know what I mean? Like, I think you have to think long-term strategically as well. I just think that he didn't think long-term strategically in that moment. You know, and unfortunately, that, you know, when he did that, you know, you could see her face at the end. She wasn't impressed when he took her phone and a number. But that's not to say that she ain't toxic enough to go back after and say something. You don't know. But that ain't to say that nothing might not happen after. I'm not saying that at all. It could. You know, people have turned around worse situations. So, you know, let's not leave that out there and say like it can't happen. I'm just saying maybe it might not have been the best choice to have done that in the first place. But any other thoughts on Will and Conscience before we move it forward? Because she know how to pop it. Oh, okay. All right, cool. We'll move forward. Let's talk then about another Will. Well, actually, no. Will and Alexis had a good conversation. I want to get your thoughts on their conversation. She also let out some information which, quite early on, someone might say might have been oversharing. Some might say, well, it was, you know, she was just being open and honest. I want to get your thoughts as well. What do you guys feel? Do you feel like it was too early for her to say about her autoimmune disease, or do you think it was within the construct of the conversation, it was in the flow of the moment? Will didn't seem to be fazed by it. I think he liked her anyway, so that obviously didn't make much of a difference. So I want to know, you know, what your thoughts are, guys. What's your thoughts on this situation? Who wants to go first? Who's ready to shake it? So none of y'all want to move. Thank you, Merks. Thank you. Go for it, Merks.
And okay, so I initially really liked them. I think that it was one of the more organic kind of conversations that we saw today. But Alexis kind of doubled back, if you kind of heard her confessional, where she pointed out things that she didn't like. So I think that this may be one of his options, but I don't necessarily know if it's going to materialize into anything. Just because she made some comments that kind of contradicted their initial, like what we saw. But I thought it was cute. I thought they had a lot in common. And I don't think that she overshared. I think that especially when it comes to diseases that are going to affect your relationship, I think that you should be as upfront and transparent as early as possible, just because people deserve to know what they're getting into. So I don't think she overshared. I think it's a part of her story. I'm sure she had to go through a lot with that. But I like her and Will right now. So I'm a fan.
Thank you, Merks. Who's next? Yes.
I'll say I'm torn between the overshare situation only because if she's not comfortable with divulging information or whatnot, I think you shouldn't share it right away, especially if you're not sure about the person. However, I will say this much about Will. Will must have this ability to make the woman feel very comfortable to share such information around him. So that's possibly a plus. They did have good banter going back and forth between the two of them. I'm not mad at the. I'm not going to say I'm mad at the sharing because, like I say, if you're comfortable with it, whatever you're sharing, you don't feel like it'd be used against you later on, or it's not going to hurt you later on. Share your piece. That actually helps you weed out if the person is going to be for you or not. Um, for right now, these two do seem like they're good running for each other. They seem pretty interested in one another. The conversation flowed really well between the two. They joked really well with each other. So we'll see where it goes with it. But like I said, I'm a little torn on it. You know, I just feel like if you have information like you got a STD or something like that, when we get to a space of trying to go there, then maybe that's when you share it. But I wouldn't share it too soon. But this is a health issue. Of course, people might pick up on how she's eating or whatever and ask the question, which leads to her saying why she has it or why she's eating a certain way. So I think it's just all in the context of the conversation.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. I think the conversation was good. It was flowing. Will has a way of them opening up and having that conversation, and she was willing. I think her sharing it early is good. It allows him to make a decision, right? Allows him to make a decision. Do I want to take this on or not want to take this on? As we indulge in this relationship, also helps him make a decision. So when we go out, if I take you out to eat, I know where to go. I know how to plan dinner. I know how to plan a meal. I am not taking you to a place where you can't eat or be comfortable because you have this disease or you have some health challenges. And so, it gives him some information. It gives him some options. And I think that sees how serious she is about, I don't want to say playing this game, but being a part of this process. Being a part of this process by allowing someone to make a conscious decision. I'm giving you what it is about me. So now put it back in your court to make a decision if you want to be with me or not. If you don't, if you can't handle it, I understand. But this is me because you're going to get this. You're going to get the fact that I have this condition when you're dealing with me. So I just hope it doesn't become a story out the whole season where it's constantly they play on it and stay on it, but just something that she shares and moves on.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Glenn said. I think I personally think it was very early. Like you're just meeting this guy, right? You still have a whole range of guys, probably five more at least to interact with. And if that's what you're gonna lead with, I would. In fact, she didn't lead with it, but if you're opening up that much about yourself, that's very open. Not saying that anyone's going to use it against her, but um, I would probably be concerned if someone just that I'd met like a few seconds and that's what they're telling me straight away. But also on the plus side, it does give them information on how to proceed with dates. And, like everyone said, maybe her food requirements are affected or temperature or things like that, right? Um, but, it's something that would probably rear its head at some point because it's an autoimmune condition. And so it's out of her control. It's completely involuntary, right? Um, and she may be seen taking medication and things like that. So at least she's given some reason why she may be doing certain things. But I think it was very early. Like this is only like 30 seconds in to a conversation with this dude. Yeah, Will may have these ladies at ease, but still, I think, wait till you get into a situation where you've at least identified someone that you want to at least pursue or be pursued by first, and then you can share more deeper things about you. Rather than you just meeting these guys and then straight off the bat, it's, yeah, well, I got a condition and this is what, and if I'm taking tablets and if I'm doing this, like it might color some people's view of how to proceed with you. Like they may see it as, wow, there's something wrong. It may be too much to handle. I don't want the drama. Or on the other side of it, they may be giving you the sympathy dates because they don't want to leave you out and make you feel completely excluded. So double-edged sword.
Or you can be like Mark Anthony and not know what the disease is, and you won't know that until the reunion.
That was some tea.
Not you put your boy out there.
Well,
Yeah.
listen,
That was some tea.
We didn't know. He's
Oh, really?
yeah, you remember
But
she
I
said she
guess
had
they shot the confessional and then in between the seasons.
Yeah, she didn't know
Oh,
that
okay.
he didn't know until we were at the reunion. And they
but and
What
see
was
that
her
also
condition again? Something where she had to be fed with baby
MS
bite?
MS or
Crohn's.
something.
Boom.
Crohn's, yeah.
Crohn's.
No,
There
she
you
had
go.
Crohn's disease.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I say, I don't even know what this condition is or whatever, but until she started explaining it. But the wonderful thing about it, a person that likes you would actually go do the research. They'll listen to you and they'll go do the research and figure out what it is. So that's another telltale sign to see if a person like you when they come back and they start doing things accordingly to what you have going on. So it could, like JR said, it could be a plus. It also, but I look at it, me personally, I look at it as plus both ways. It's a plus for my person because my person's going to do what it needs to take to figure out what it is and how to help me deal with it. But if you're not my person, it's going to get you out. So it's a win-win for me, regardless. That's how I look at it. I don't look like I'm losing out on somebody. If they take that information and be like, oh, no, I can't handle it. Fine. That's great. So it just depends on how she looks at it at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I took it as a heavy conversation, but she made it as light as it possibly could be in explaining it. And I think as somebody who has an illness, I think it's up to you how you handle, that's what now, especially me sitting in the seat, it's up to you how you handle it. And depending on how that particular illness affects your day-to-day life, you're going to be the one to choose how you share what you may need to share. So I think that it's totally her call. She looked very comfortable with it. And sometimes if you get people who are, it's okay, because if I start talking to you about it, then I expect a level of curiosity. So if the person is curious, I don't think there's a problem with that. But if they're like bothered by it or, turned off, it's going to come up at some point. So to me, hey, it is what it is. Now, I might not tell somebody day one I'm just meeting you, but depending on how the conversation goes and how the vibe goes, I might. And I think again, we also have to think about it's for her as much as we're concerned about Will and how he interprets it. Who cares? He's not the one with the autoimmune issue. It's her. So it's how she's walking through life, processing, dealing with what she has to deal with. And sometimes part of that journey is talking about it, not being, not holding it in and being ashamed, quote unquote, of the illness that you have, because that comes with its own sets of mental issues. And I think that's where I switch on my empathy part, especially knowing that I'm somebody that goes through, has been through an illness. I think we have to like easy on how he feels. It's more about her because she's the one walking around with this. So part of her healing journey may be, hey, I'm just getting comfortable talking about this, or I'm getting comfortable expressing what I have and what I'm going through. And hey, just like Jay said, if it's too much for you, if it's too, then hey, you can bounce, because I don't care. If you're uncomfortable that I've been through something, then we can't really be friends. Because if you can't even just lean in to be a little curious about something that I've been through as a human to human connection, then, bye.
Let me add on to that though, Sean. I don't want to sit here because we do this with our friends till we just dump. And we don't know what kind of position or place that our friends are in sometimes to even handle some of the stuff we dump on them. So I'm not saying be comfortable enough to just be, hi, my name is, and then start dumping all your stuff on somebody. But like we all have been saying up here, if the context of the conversation is flowing in that direction and we're sitting here and we having a real deep conversation, then yeah, I might be shared. Hey, what's something deep about you that you don't tell nobody? Oh, I have this issue. It might be like that. But yeah, don't just jump in and just be like, oh, hi, my name is, and I'm going through this, what's your issue? Like, that's too much. That to me would be a problem if a person did that. But if we're flowing and we having good conversation, and mind you, these people are not, it's just not the first 5 minutes. These people have been sitting here for hours. So we don't know how much they done talked about. We're just getting the edited version of all they've been talking about. So.
Yeah, I had to look it up. It's a skin condition. I had to ask the nurse that lives with me what it is. But it's definitely a skin condition underneath the lymph nodes, which helps her stop her from sweating, which goes into the basketball, you know, her playing basketball, playing different things. So, you know, we said autoimmune is kind of basically just a skin condition. So I'd like to see the conversation leading up to it. And what made her divulge that was about the basketball that she plays. Oh, she referees, right? And things like that. She said she doesn't sweat as much because I think they was talking about how hot it was out there. And it was talking about, and that how the conversation came up. So be interested to see what
they
it
were
is.
talking about food. They were talking about food, and then she talked about her diet and how she has a more restrictive diet and why she eats clean. And then she segued to that.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Yeah, so I guess one of the things to make sure she stayed clean in her diet. So it is good. So it's like it's more of a skin type condition that it is.
Any other thoughts around this, guys? Any other thoughts around Will and Alexis? Any other thoughts? Well, I'll shift it. All right, I'll shift it then. All right, good conversation. Thank you. All right, cool, fine. Let's move on to another Will William, comedian William. You know, he he said, you know, he wants to open up a gun range, and conscience let him know. What steps are you taking? What steps are you taking to get to this point where you open a gun range? You got a friend who owns a gun range, but you ain't done nothing about it. What you doing? That was his conscience. Okay, all right. So I want to get your thoughts on William and his situation. You know, and his journey, because he was at the bottom of the bottom too. So, what do you guys feel about William in this situation? Comedian Will. Last one was red, so that was interesting. Yes. Thank you, JR. Thank you, JR. Thank you, JR. Thank you.
Man, I was hoping that he was joking, to be honest. I thought that was some dry humor, because why you want to put yourself in problems talking about giving women guns and stuff like that? That was insane. If he's being serious, yeah. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I mean, he is in military, right? So he may have military training, but is he a licensed instructor to be able to do those type of things? You know, yeah. I think he was just waffling personally. He hasn't shown any intention from what he said. In order to get this up and running. And if he does know a friend that has a gun range, that would have been even more access to get it up and running very quickly. Like, you know, he wouldn't have to go through certain channels, or he'll know the avenues to go through to get it set up already. So, yeah, I think it was just like said in jest or something like that. Can't take that guy seriously. He's a comedian. So I expect a lot of things that he's going to say might be taken as comedy, dry humor, or, you know, something like that. Can't take my guy seriously yet.
I don't know why y'all are waiting. Jay's here contemplating the whole entire situation, like rocking back and forth, like William don't open up a gun range and he ain't done it yet. Our good sis was really considering what's going on. She said, "Oh my God." It's a travesty. Yes, Glenn, thank you.
Nah, man, like I said, if your buddy has half the job already done, it's easy to go ahead and put your name onto it and y'all work out a building. And like yo, he has like almost 75% of the business in place. You just have to now go through people and women. And how unique do you think this business is going to be? A gun range just for African American women? Like, you didn't think this thing through. Like, what are you gonna make it special about having a gun range just for African American women? Because you said, I'm gonna make a gun range for Black women. Well, that's like a good idea. Like, did you write this out? Business plan this out? How many Black women in the area? The demographic where you live at? You didn't do none of this stuff. But you know, I'm just gonna. It's a good idea. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, if I'm women of color, so if I'm looking at this, I'm opening a gun range up for everybody, because I want everybody to come shoot, right? I want everybody to spend their money right there in this place, not just a certain demographic or type people. But where are you gonna open at? What neighborhood are you opening in? What community center? Where are you going at? So I needed some more context and detail on why William, thought this was a great idea. It might work there. I don't know, right? It may be a great idea. It might be a market for it. But if your buddy has all this in place, like, you should be like, yo, we started a business like last month. We're making money in this area. We're making money in this realm. Not, and I'm thinking about doing this. And I think that was one of the ladies said, like, he's all over the place. Like, he's all over the place. He's not sure what he's trying to do or where he's at. So it should be, in his mind, it sounded right, but it came out so wrong. He should have came out, you know what, me and my buddy, we're close to this gun range where we open up for women of color. We're teaching them how to be safe, teaching them how to train, teaching them how to prepare, teaching them how to shoot different type of weapons, how to protect themselves, just in case they're home invasion. He could have went through and made it as seamless if he was prepared, not just we open up the gun range. What are you going to do with this? Why are you doing this? We're doing it for young girls, teaching them how to get their concealed weapons permit, how to handle and change a gun, single mothers, things of that nature. But he didn't run through the whole plan as he should have.
Everything that Glenn just said, because I was going to say, a man without a plan is just terrible, okay? A man with a plan is so sexy. Y'all hear me one more time, men out there? A man with a plan is so sexy. I need your plan to be on point, like from start to finish. This man had no start or a finish. He said he got a friend of a friend of a friend who has a friend that knows who has a gun range, okay? You don't even have your connections down. You all over the place. But the fact that your background is in the Army, military, something like this, you should have so many leads right now. Your money should be ready, invested. You should at least have your business plan written up. You done invested in some few things. One thing Elle said the other night on my thing, she was like, even have a bullet shop. Just sell the ammo. Just to start. I like all the other ideas. Look, Glenn got more ideas for your plan than you do. Like, why? You need to call Glenn up, baby. Call Glenn, okay? Put Glenn on the business plan with you. Let him write it up for you. Go ahead, pay him. But get your plan in order. And that's all I'm going to say. I mean, he didn't plan for the outfit too well, so we can't expect him to plan for the business too well either. So there's that.
Listen, Jay, the way you leaned in remind me of KOSHEIA like that and talked about that plan. So I just need you to run that back. Okay. I'm going to go write me up a plan right now. We get me a good 30, 60, 90 plan going. Yeah, listen, I think, a jack of all trades is a master of none. We have that, that age-old expression. And unfortunately, I think William is exemplifying that. He's a little bit all over the place. And he just needs to get some stability, to quote Aries. He just needs to be stable. Pick a lane, find what you want to do, and just execute. And definitely don't come on ready to love, because you need to have a plan, because you want to leverage them to get exposed. But if your plan is all over the place, you fitting to get roasted and toasted all across social media. So, bro, I pity him right now.
I think that he needs a plan, or William, he needs a plan, or I would have even taken a really good lie. Because what he's going to look like is that he's suffering from Peter Pan syndrome, and it's the never want to grow up, never really have a job. And I know, especially myself, and in this climate, women are scared to date men with potential. So if he's coming with all of these potential ideas, half-lived careers, a little bit over here, a little bit over there, they're not going to see stability. And I heard a lot of women talk about the need for stability. A lot of these women have kids. He has kids of his own. So I think that even though we're just picking on this idea, and I do want to point out, you're in Texas. Baby, it's so oversaturated. It's one on every corner. There's a gun range on every corner. You can go get a gun at your local Walmart with an ID. Like, Texas is gun city. So women, and they need it. I knew a girl, they got guns ever since they were 11 and 12, and they stand by the Bible. So there's really no need for what he was proposing. Now, I would even, maybe it's a date idea or something like that, but I don't think it should have been presented as a business idea per se, because it just made him look, I don't know, just a little unstable as far as what women traditionally will look for in a partner. So I think he's suffering from the Peter Pan, and we'll see if he leave Never Never Land.
Ooh, good points. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on the William situation, and not necessarily, bringing his full potential to the table? I mean, I personally did think, I felt like he was trying to score points personally, because you are trying to date black women in this environment. So telling a black woman that, hey, I'm trying to open up a gun store range, for you guys, black women to come in, and you're trying to impress people, right? But if you're going to try to impress people, I need you to have the evidence to back it up with, right? Otherwise, it's an empty dream. If you haven't done the groundwork for it. Now, if he had said, hey, look, you know what? I've already got the gun range already sorted, I'm on, I've got one or two things left that I need to do to bring this to life, then yeah, you've already started the work. But right now, it's like the dream is still in the car shop, It's got no body, it's got no wheels, it's got no engine, okay, all right? We haven't even got a framework going on right now, okay, all right? We just got an empty floor space with a chassis, okay, ready to do some work, but we don't know if it's going to be put together or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the moment, it's a dream which has no legs, okay, all right? So that's what it needs. It needs some of that. It just needs some of that, so that, just so that when you do go and say it, it doesn't become an empty dream. Because if he does one or two things, I've got a permit, I've got this, I've got that sorted already, I've connected with my guy now, we've got this going, then it's like you've got things running, and it's like, okay, you actually put in some work forward. Now, he may generally make this work in maybe 1 year or 2 years, this may be up running, right? But just to put it out there, if you are going to be on that dating scene, you saying you want to get this thing done and not having anything done, you know what I mean? Like, I want to write my book, but you have no notes. You don't have no background information. You ain't done no research. Okay, you ain't even got a character's name. You haven't even got a book title. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You got no structure that's in place to start the work foundational wise, and it's gonna look like an empty dream. And nobody wants that in 2024. It's crazy out here. Okay, all right. It's crazy out here. People just wanna, like you said, want some stability and want some consistency. So hopefully he gets that in place. But hey, he's a comedian, so hopefully, that comedian check is coming through steadily, and that is something that he's got going on regularly. If that's the case, fantastic. He's got a good foundation and base to work from, and then he can start moving from there. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely hear you on that. Let's move on then. If no one else got any thoughts on William, sorry, Glenn. Go for it. Yeah,
real quick, man. Google, 2 minutes in Google. You said something, I had to look it up. Now, black women are the fastest growing group of gun owners. Even if we'd have led with that, black women are the fastest, group of gun owners, and me and my buddies opened up a shop. That changes the whole conversation, because it seems as if he done some research. That's like 30 seconds on Google, but I don't know if he knew what he was talking about. So I'm just wanted to put that out there. The conversation changes if you throw some information in front of him.
Conversation changes if he put some passion up in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure our sisters know how to operate, clean, break down, reassemble, store a gun, do all this stuff. I want to make sure that their safety is on high. Like you said, Glenn, he brought that fact. He could have brought the fact like black women is the highest being attacked, whatever passion. Let me know you did some research, something that you're planning it, at least. You have it something written down somewhere. Like I did. When my sis, and I'm going off of what she said, I got to trust what she said. When she named about 4 different friends to get to the friend. What? Say what? And then here's my other thought with William too. And this is why I feel like he was in the bottom. One, I know it's written that he's a comedian. I'm not going to say that's his only job. I hope it's not his only job. But if you're a full-time comedian, you're on a roll like Cat Williams. You're gone a lot of times. You're still not stable enough to have a relationship because you're gone. You have to find somebody that actually understands that you're not going to be there a lot of times, and they'd be okay with it. Because if you're not selling out big time arenas, you're not linking to these with these certain people that have these Netflix specials and all this stuff like that, you're not making a lot. You have to be on the road a lot throughout the year. So where do you actually have the time to be with your woman, let alone your 3 boys? You got boys. That means that they need their time, depending on what age they are, if they in sports or whatever and stuff. You might want to be training them on their guns and all that. You got a lot of time to divide up. So I just don't feel like he's just really in a space to be in a relationship until he gets something a little bit more concrete.
I'm hearing it nice and strong. Any other thoughts on Williams without the cat? No? Let's see, the cat's got your tongue.
Wait.
Yes, Mercy, go for it.
Okay. Have we at least done the minute? And maybe I'll do this on my own. Is he a real comedian? Because you know people lie on these shows.
I don't know.
The problem is they put comedian on the show when we watch it. However, when you go back and look at the cast photos, they have him as ex-military and something else. Has another job. I forgot what it is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, financial analyst.
But nobody's that, but because he didn't tell it. The Joe either. So do we know if he's funny?
Now, listen, on that regards though, we know he can't be up here telling his jokes for free.
True.
He could find a way to make her laugh, but he cannot be telling his jokes for free because somebody else out here might steal his jokes. So we don't want that to happen to him.
How are you more funny than he is?
Cat Williams was saying that earlier this week, right? So,
I mean, he didn't have to tell a joke. He just needs to be funny.
Yeah, we want him to get paid, though. We want him to get paid.
Well, he needs to because he's trying to open a gun range. But I'm just saying that obviously he needs to be funny without bending the joke. Like, but then again, not every comedian is like situationally funny. But I'm just saying, like, he ain't. I didn't laugh one bit. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't hear no funny tone. I'm not even talking about a joke necessarily, but no funny comments, nothing like that. It didn't feel like that. You know what I mean? But then again, they might have cut it all out because I think some people said they didn't feel he was serious. So maybe he was joking a lot and we didn't know. So it's just really weird that they never captured any funny moments of him. You know what I mean? Which is kind of weird.
We got April being funny. We got Will. I mean, other Will being funny. I know other people might find it offensive that he asked her about that ding-a-lang thing or whatever, but it is a little funny though because I was thinking it. Like I said, it's not properly placed. But I was thinking the same thing or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. He's still here, so we'll see. Mercedes.
Interesting. Any other thoughts on William before we go? The next part? No? All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. We got, I'm going to say Dominique. Is it Dominique? Am I saying it right? Is it Dominique? Yeah, Dominique the guy. Yeah, Dominique. He seems to be the ladies' favorite. I want to get your perspective. Why do y'all think that Dominique is the ladies' favorite? What is it about him? I know it probably is the arms, you know. Probably the fact that, you know, the brother is well built. He seems sensible. He's apparently a good listener. You know, he is empathetic. He's, he just seems a gentle soul. They said he's a gentle soul with large arms. So, you know, Mercy smiling. That's the one she does. She heard gentle soul with large arms, and she just grinned from teeth to teeth. I hear it. Why do you think that he's been the ladies' favorite? What is it that he's been doing, or what do you think that you've observed from watching his interactions or anything like that makes him the ladies' favorite? You know, have you seen anything that makes it that case? Yes, Mertz, thank you for sitting up and telling us your truth. Go for it.
Well, I wasn't trying to go first. I was just adjusting myself in this really hard chair. But I think that he was the ladies' favorite because he is when somebody just scores good in all categories on a first interaction, he did not have any big blunders, party fouls, or any red flags. So I think that he was always going to be the front runner in that regard because he didn't do anything wrong, but he did quite a few things right. You know, the listening. People just, ladies, we love when somebody listening to, you know, the details, and you heard something I told you probably 6-7 hours ago and you still remembering and things like that. I think he's attractive for all intents and purposes. So I think that's a go-to. And if you look at the scoreboard, he probably is what most of the women will try to go after. Quite a few of them were younger. This is probably the youngest cast I've seen. Almost what Will was 31, around 31. I mean, they're all younger. So, and some of these women have children, families, etc. So I think he's going to be the most wanted option for a lot of women as they progress in the process. But I think he's solid. You know, he's a good player. He can shoot from all angles. He in the post. He hitting the three. You know, he's in the paint. He's doing everything. So I think they just liked him because he was a all-around decent guy from what we can see.
I guess I
Thank you
get us
much.
ladies. I guess I get us ladies out the way real quick. Yeah, I agree with Merce. He present well. He seemed confident. You know, he's seemed like he's pretty easygoing, pretty easy to speak to. Of course, he paid attention, which was always a plus. You like that. That means he's attentive. Conversations tend to flow really well. I mean, the only red flag is the 10 children, the 2 to 10, and we already at 35. You starting a little late on that or whatever. You know, I don't know how many baby mamas you trying to have, but you know, that might be a problem. However, he seems well traveled. He appreciates nice things because they said he's an art curator, so he probably appreciates nice things. It's a lot that's going for him right now that can also work against him later, though. So we'll see how he continues, because sometimes your first impression be your best impression. So we'll see. But out of the 5 that they had to go, he was the best pickings, to be honest. Like, we only got 5 right now. This is what I got to work with. So the best out of 5, yeah. Is, you know, once we cancel out 2 of them, we already got 2 to 3 canceled out for whatever reason. And most of the other women seem to, outside of Mika, wants to have children, sounds like they still want. So they keeps him in the running for most of the women still right now. So we'll see how he do with the next 5.
It's a lot right now. Thank you, Jay. VIP? What are you telling me?
Yeah, he seems like the most well-rounded, balanced, suitable guy at the moment. Very attentive, dressed sharp, seems like a gentle giant. Again, the ladies seem to open up to him when he was talking with them. He's got a physique on him, like, you know, getting his muscles touched up and things like that. So yeah, he gave me kind of Clifton vibes. So I think he's definitely the front runner, and we have to see what the rest of the ladies who come into the process, you know, how they view him, because obviously you don't want too many admirers, because then you'll get the whole catty competitiveness, or you might get the player vibes. So it'd be interesting to see how his journey goes, but he's definitely started off on the right foot.
Thank you, JR. Glenn, what's your thoughts?
He just did, like everybody said, he's a great communicator. He was the best out of the bunch. And it didn't hurt when you hear people and you know and you listen to people and you can regurgitate what they said. And that was made everybody else attracted to him. And you're not saying foolish stuff. You seem more stable than everybody else. You're not trying to open a gun range, be a comedian. You're not talking about anybody being stigmatized or anything like that. So you're the best out of the bunch. And so everybody was like, okay, this guy, as of right now, has it together. Smiled and liked the conversation. So at this point, you know, everybody like he's the least threatening when you talk about, or the least red flags when within that group. And so when you have only eliminate one, then you can't eliminate him. So it's like, okay, we keep him around. We'll see as the weeks progress if he can keep it up. And so we'll see how that goes. But right now he's just the best of the bunch.
Appreciate it, Glenn. Sean, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I took the 2 to 10. I think he was just talking. You know, I think sometimes as guys, especially in that kind of environment, we just get to bumping our gums, and I think he was just bumping his gums. I don't think that dude wants no daggone 10 kids. You know, the amount of money it takes to raise kids. Yeah, I don't think he literally wants to, 10 kids. You know, he probably wants somewhere between 2 and 4 and 5, maybe, I would guess. But you know, I'm sure we'll hear him elaborate a little bit further on that, because he would have to get started real soon, or maybe he could have some quadruplets, find a woman that's willing to have multiples. But outside of that, I think similar to what everybody else said, I liked his fit. I could see myself, like, sometimes when I see the guys, I'm like, would I wear that? What he wore, that nice linen suit, I would wear that. And I'm a sucker for tailoring. The suit was tailored, spot on. I think, when especially you're gonna be in the public eye, you gotta look the part. And I think he definitely did that. And he seemed like he was a gentleman, had good conversations with the ladies. From April, who I'm upset that you missed her good joke, Kojo, when she said the Holy Spirit just spoke to her and she said 10 kids won't be coming from her. So I thought that was, a good little banter they had going back and forth. And yeah, my thoughts.
I do remember that joke. Now you said it. The Holy Spirit causes remembrance. So, and I remember what you were saying. Yeah. Listen. I mean, to be honest, I think it's early days, right? Because it's a first batch, right? It's a small batch, and there's only a few people. So he's gonna stand out even more, right? We'll see what happens when he get to a bigger pond. Will he still stand out the same way? We'll see. But I liked his energy. I think he like I said, he dressed well. He spoke quite well as well. It's always helpful when you got some muscles on you too, and and you're also a gentle soul. It's like the the opposites there. People find that intriguing. So, and he was obviously clearly attentive, right? Because because he won the competition, answered like 8 or 9 answers. So clearly he's listening to the ladies and actually paying attention to them, which, let's be honest, if you are going to be liking someone and you are going to be in a competition, you are going to try and find someone that you want to gel with, you probably need to pay attention. And it's clear that the other guys were just talking for talking's sake, because none of them were actually really listening to the women. Because you got someone who got 0, like that should be embarrassing. At that point, it means that you weren't really getting the essence of the people. You weren't really getting to the essence and the heart of the individual people you're talking to. Maybe you're more focused on staying in the competition and actually connecting with the people right in front of you, as well. So yeah, the fact that he won that competition too, yeah, I think he's somebody who to watch out for, and I can see why the ladies would have liked him as well. Any other thoughts to Dom and him being the ladies' favorite? Come back again. Yeah? No? Okay, cool. Let's shift it then. Obviously, he had a conversation with April as well. She liked him as well, and that seemed like a really cool aspect. Let's talk a little bit about April then, because y'all said you remember April, and I said I don't remember her at all too much. To be honest, if I'm honest with you, I don't remember much about her. But I do remember now thinking about it. I do remember her making a joke to Will about being a drug lord or whatever, and she swiped his hand away when he tried to laugh and put his hand near her. She kind of swiped it away. And that told me she wasn't going for anything Will was giving either. And then she obviously had a conversation with Dom as well. But I want to get your thoughts. What do you guys think about April? Is it? Are we seeing something? Maybe I missed it. You know what I mean? Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. Okay, all right. Talk to me. Is it summertime? Yes, Sean.
She reminds me a little bit of Precious, just slightly, ever so. Just like her little
Precious from previous seasons.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Potomac.
Yeah. I think she has like a funny little feisty personality. She seems cool. Not really much. I mean, I could see how you're like, you haven't heard much from her, you know, especially in the midst of the ladies, but she's definitely seems like she's comedic, you know, she seems like she'll be a good time to hang out with.
See, thank you. You know, that was short and sweet because you don't remember much either. Glenn, go for it.
I thought she was straightforward with him, you know, just a little bit of jokes. Was she the one who asked him like when he was talking on the bridge, like sex before marriage? Was she the one that asked him that?
Glenn, you don't know. I don't know. That's the point. That's number
I can't
two.
remember.
Glenn, you can't remember because I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. Somebody asked him when they was on the bridge, like, "Yo, you know, how you feel about sex before marriage?" I couldn't remember if that was him. Oh, somebody said that.
No,
was
I think that was Mika.
Yeah, okay, Mika. Okay,
I remember
good.
that one.
Then I don't remember April that much at all, except for the joke about her being a pharmacist, a legalized drug dealer. So, as she said.
Thank you. I rest my case, Your Honor.
You're leading
Mr.
the way,
VIP.
Kojo.
I, you know what? You should have interjected and said you object, but you didn't. So we're going to continue leading the witness down the path of the erroneous ways. Mr. VIP, April, your thoughts. Why does it look like you went to smoke a joint and came back? What are you smiling at that for? It's the way you're smiling like it's like you went to smoke a joint and come back.
Bro, I've been on camera the whole time. How am I gonna go do that? But since we're talking about joints, like that's why you know, when she said she sells drugs, I think that's obviously what the play was. Like he kind of tried to insinuate that was what she was doing, the narcotics and stuff like that. But yeah, just a friendly banter type situation. Didn't read anything too serious into it. You know, she is in the medical profession. Lighthearted.
Yeah, the men really ain't kicking it at all. I mean, they're literally in their 30 seconds bag and then they're out. Ladies, save April, please. Save April. Okay, all right. Save April. We're
Okay.
on January right now. Yes, Merce. Come on.
Let me put on my cape. No, I'm just playing. I'm okay with April. I think that she kind of reminds me of Sue Ann in this part where you maybe look at her job and career and you're going to assume that she's very straight-laced, nerdy. But when you have heard her be in conversation and some of the way that she answers, even with the funny joke, like I'll use Sue Ann. She's a lawyer by day, but I mean, she can rap. She's hilarious. Like she got a little swag sauce behind it. So I think that April maybe just, you know, there's more underneath the hood and hopefully they will let her character develop. But I think she has more than maybe what her edit has shown us. But like Glenn, I had to look it up because I forgot who April was. So she was not, it wasn't memorable. She didn't do anything like crazy, but I think she's probably a nice person. Is that bad?
But it's not bad, but it's the fact that you said you're going to try and put your cape on and literally roll the roller coaster down into the depths of hell. So, by all means,
I didn't say where I was taking her on my cape.
It's so funny that April has most of the most memorable moments with people through this whole episode. Yeah, you don't remember her. She's the one who asks about the hand tattoo. She's the one who made the joke about the drugs. She's the one who was sitting in the background while everybody else was getting their answers, and she only got one answer that was directed towards her. I mean, it was a lot going on. She had the little furry outfit on, you know. She's the oldest of the room. She has her moment. She made the Lord comment is not having all these babies over here. So we know that Dominique will rescind back to 2. You know, she had a lot going on. However, her personality is not in your face or anything like that. She's not over the top. She's going to present herself well because she realized she's on camera or whatnot. And like Mercedes said, what she does, she's a pharmaceutical director. She you know, she's well educated. She's not just going to be on here making a fool of herself right now. She's the oldest lady out the bunch, right? You know, she's going to represent for Black women right now. That's how she's coming up. So, you know, you're not going to remember her because one, Kojo, you're too busy looking at brown dress. You ain't focused on anything else. You ain't worried about April, okay? Every time the camera went to April, you like, go back, okay? So you're not worried about anybody else. But she's there. I feel like she might be a little spicy. She might be a little feisty. We'll see how it goes because the way that she retook that joke back about the drugs when we'll try to go a little extra with it or whatever, she's like, oh, no. We're going to shut this all down. But that's why I said she's representing for her department, her thing or whatever. She's representing for Black women right now. So she's like, we're not about to play hood games. I work in pharmaceuticals. Let's get this correct. There will not be no dime bags being sold by me. Okay, at all. Try again. We're going to take it all back. So that I'm just curious to see how she going to go. Cause I was like, I say 3 out of the 5 women up there is kind of spicy. She's the third. It's how you want to call her, conscious, Kyoshi. I'm not gonna say her name right because this one keep calling her conscious. Sean's lady, okay. KOSHEIA. Thank you, Sean. It's KOSHEIA, Mika, and then April on this spice list right now. We'll see next week if she get moved down, but right now, out of the 5, that's how I'm ranking them. I don't even remember the 4th lady because I remember Alexis. Who is the other lady now? See, now I don't remember who the other lady is. It was somebody else there, wasn't it? Let me look through my notes.
You said Alexis.
I said Alexis. Oh, wait. Is there 4 ladies?
Wait, is there 4 ladies or 5? Alexis.
I only got 4 written down.
KOSHEIA,
Alexis, April, Mika.
It was 4.
Oh,
4 ladies.
Snap.
4 ladies and 5 guys. Should have been 6.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
That's why they had the choice. That's why they had a choice to eliminate because it was less of them and more men. That's why they gave the women choice. And because Glenn was going to be the 6th guy, not me, y'all, but another Glenn.
The Glenn that didn't show up. You showing up.
Yeah, I showed up.
Okay, all right.
Okay, fair enough. So I think it's clear. I mean, I've run the panel. I've run a little poll there, and most people are saying they do remember April. So clearly I'm wrong, and the 6 of y'all are wrong with me. So because none of you can remember her either. Okay.
I remember
Jay said that was it Jay? Was it her? Was it even April who asked about the tattoo? I thought that was Conscience.
Was it Conscious? It was 2 people in purple. Sorry, they both had purple.
See what I'm saying?
I remember her.
I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying to make it work for her.
With the baby comment with Dominique or Dominique, whatever his
she
name
had
is.
the comment with Dominique, and she had the one with Will, and then she was sitting in the back in her little feathers waiting for her name because I was like, dang, they ain't got no questions on her. Everything is on Mika and Kyoshi. I remember the feathers, baby. I remember the feathers.
She I can't lie to you, April does remind me of someone a couple of seasons back. Sean, remember Flip Flop Gal? What's her name? Vegan. The lady that you were cussing because her feet were flip flopping with the shoes. What is her name?
Oh, the one that came on. She came in later in the process. She went on that date. Yeah, she was flip flopping down the street. Yeah, I forgot her name too. Oh man, that pissed me off.
AP.
There you go.
She reminds me of AP. Very, very, like that. It reminds me a little bit of that as well situation. So. Yeah, Sean was definitely on hot on that day, boy. So then flip-flopping. All right, cool. So we'll move from April then as well. Next one is, I think have we gone through everyone? Pretty much. Have I hit everybody? Because all the ladies are done as well. We've done Conscience already. We haven't done Mike Malika. So let's get her going. Okay, so I want to get your thoughts on Malika.
Not all you right. Forgetting your own boo.
Okay, Malika. let's get our thoughts on Malika. Listen, what's your thoughts to her? She already got 2 kids. She ain't trying to have any more kids, but she was talking to Dom. And she seemed very interesting as well. So, I wasn't sure how that was going to work. As well. So, but what's your thoughts, guys? And she, dropped a little joke about Nutcracker Boy as well. So, listen, she clearly got one or two laughs and a few bars on her. I want to know what's your thoughts, guys, to Malika. You definitely didn't forget her, did you, guys? Yeah, you knew who she was. You see that? Yeah, nobody forgot that. Yes, Sue, let's go first with Malika. Yes, Sean, shaking your head. You go for it.
Me liked her too. The only thing that, kind of canceled her out in my imaginary dating pool option is the fact that she don't want any more kids. So once I heard that, I was like, can't take her seriously because, want that legacy. But she seemed to have good banter, very beautiful. She was in I think she's in skincare or something like that. And she, from the looks of it, she's in the right field. Her skin was looking good. I don't really I didn't really hear her say anything super memorable, but it's not like she said anything distasteful either, So she was cool. She seems cool.
Yeah. Who's next? Talk about Malika. Talk to me. Yeah, Glenn lifts his head. Fantastic, Glenn. Go for it. Yeah.
I agree with Sean. I mean, she said some of the right things. Only thing that caught my attention was when they was playing a game, which made her sound like a sports groupie, unless she knew somebody who was in the league. Was what athlete flies you out and leaves you in the car while he goes in and get a facial? And I'm thinking here, like, okay, so you're in a place where you see a lot of athletes who try to hook up with you and who's willing to fly you out, and you just sit in the car in Atlanta while he's in there getting a facial. And I'm starting to think, is that one of your baby daddies? Is that one of your baby daddies? Is that one somebody that you dealt with on a regular basis? Like, where are you at? Where are you meeting athletes that's just going to fly you out? Are you hanging out after the game? Are you so those questions came to mind because I have some reporter friends of mine who athletes go after, who they be in their DMs. So
I mean, I can see why.
I'm just wondering. I'm just that was the only thing that I caught when they was playing the game in which she said that, like, okay, here, like what is going on with her here? So she said she's done with having kids. So the person she's with, or the person that she's going to be with, she doesn't want any more kids. So that can eliminate some of the men there too that may want kids. So, but other than that, I mean, you guys said everything. She is a very attractive lady, and right now she has the attention of most men.
I love that. I don't know. Someone said it. Did they say athlete? I don't know. I can't remember if they said athlete or celebrity. I think they said celebrity or athlete. I'm not sure. But you know what? Her wearing that brown dress, I can see why. They might not have caught no touchdown passes, but they would have caught her in that situation. No, stop. All right, listen. Let me see. You have to be serious. You guys let me be crazy.
Mercedes booked the ticket, so she knows who it is. She was on her flight in first class.
All right, Sean, stay over there. What do you say? The things I have seen, I keep to myself.
Yes, but Merks, what's your thoughts? Malika, what's your thoughts on her, man?
Absolutely stunning. And she is one that I remembered. She kind of reminded me of like that Cynthia moment when she walked in with that green dress, and it was just like, so she's tight, she's beautiful, she's physically attractive, she seems to hold her own in her own right. But like others, I do have questions. But I mean, what people do in their own time is their own business. But I think their celebrity comment, because I'm sure that they had to write these things themselves.
Yeah.
So why was the celebrity aspect of that important instead of saying I went on a date and the man left me in a car? You see what I'm saying? Why was their celebrity aspect a necessary part to add in? So again, I know women like that, and it's just to set their caliber, to set their stone. Her not wanting kids, I think for the right man, for the right amount of money, she might change her mind. She's young, she's of childbearing age, and so from what we know, she, is capable of still having children. So I'm gonna call cap. I think for the right man, she may be willing to give one, and I think she even spoke to that she would possibly have one, or she would consider having one. So I'm gonna call cap on that if all things are in order. But I think she's beautiful. I think she's gonna be fun to watch. And as long as her first look is an indicator of what y'all are gonna see, the men are going to be tuning in just to see what body con she put on. So.
Because it's body.
Say body is body. And it looks natural. It doesn't look like she bought that. So I like that too. Yeah.
Except that personality match.
No, and
Tyler Crazies.
Yeah, I like those too. That's great. But, yes.
Appreciate
What my girl
Go
Kiki
for it, Jay.
always say, a baby does a body good. She got two, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That body is bodying. Okay, she is my front runner right now. She is my one to watch because I think she is going to be the dark artist of this whole cast right now because she does know a lot of the right things to say. I do feel like yes, she may not want any more kids, but for the right person, she may consider one more. But it sounded real firm on that note right now, real firm, and it might be some reasons. They need to ask the reasons why she don't want no more. You know, some of us have medical reasons why we ain't trying to do it no more times or whatever. So that might unfortunately rule her out for a lot of the cast, and she might not go far just because of that alone. So we'll see how she changes it up as we continue to go down the line and we see the other ladies matched up against her. But out of the four that we have, yeah, she's my top. She really did come in and present. She presented well, and she gave nothing alarming. You know, she gave good conversation to the men. She was very charming. She's gonna be my one to watch. I'm serious. So
Definitely hear you on that, Jay. Yeah, she's could be a dark artist, you know. Listen, and when Cynthia walked in that season, let me tell you something, she turned my head. But then when she started giving her answers, I knew that she was a playgirl. I said, no. She answered the answers too sweetly for me, and I knew at that moment she fucked up. So listen, I definitely hear what you ladies are saying as well. You know, it's initial CC, but we'll see if there is anything further along the lines as well. So, yes, VIP. When you're done texting Malika, could you just let us know what your thoughts are?
Who?
I know you. I
Malika?
can see you saw in I saw it in the reflection of your eyes, boy. You was messaging her on IG. I need you to pause. Can you give us
Yeah.
your thoughts on Malika?
Don't block. You know what I'm saying? Get
I'm
mad
not blocking.
already.
I'm not blocking.
She
You're
got
right.
options.
Let me not block. Just a quick tackle.
No, that's your time, bro. Yeah, listen. I think this lady is bodying, like you say, like definitely gonna get the attention of guys and all that. But time will tell whether the personality is actually A1 or who she's compatible with. I remember, like, it's a process, and there are still tons of editing and ladies to come, and instances, dates, you know, probably 13 weeks. So the body might get the looks at first, but ultimately, can you retain the guy that you're attracted to with your personality? That's going to be the challenge.
Appreciate it, Mr. VIP. Sean, are you ready? Are you ready to Sean? Are you ready spoken up about Malika?
Yeah.
So everyone said what they said. Any other thoughts to Malika and her situation? You know? No? Cool. I think we'll shift it then. I think that's it. I mean, I think we've gone through all the parties, right? The ladies, it was Mika, it was KOSHEIA, there was Alexis, who we spoke about, 2, and April. That's the 4. And the guys were Dom, it was DeMonte, it was Will, it was William, and then there's Lauren. We've spoken about all the people there as well. So I think we've gone through everything as well. I don't know if you guys obviously saw the previews for the next few weeks. It seems like it's going to be a bit of carnage going forth. What's your thoughts into what's going to happen in the next few weeks in terms of some of the previews? It looked like it was going to be a little bit of craziness going on between some of the ladies, as usual, and I want to get your thoughts on that before we kind of wrap it up on here as well. Yeah, final thoughts on what you might be seeing in the next week or so. It's hotting up. It seems it's hotting up. Y'all looking at me like I'm the enemy. What? I asked the question.
You pick somebody, Mister. I'm on 10. Go ahead.
Well, since your ass gonna come out the blocks like that, I mean, why don't you go ahead and answer? You can open your mic to shoot me, but you can't open and answer the question. What's the point?
Yo, you are killing me today. You are killing me. Yeah, no, like I was kind of talking about it a little bit earlier. You know, I can't defend baby girl. You know, KOSHEIA, she's gonna have to, you know, frame up with the violence. You know, just calm down, sis. It's never that serious. First in the, you know, when they were in deliberation talking about the dudes, you know, then she's talking about, you know, she ready to pull out Alexis's curls. Come on now. And then she must got a thing with Alexis. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure why, you know, maybe they know each other or know of each other. I'm not sure what the issue is, because then again, they're tussling. You know, they're tussling again over God knows what. And she's talking about, you know, oh, we can get this going. Don't make me smack you. It's like, come on, lady. You know, that kind of did, you know, I can't put my cape on that strong for, you know, KOSHEIA, because, you know, you're doing too much for a dating TV show. This is not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You know, it's a dating show. So please, let's not, you know, we don't need to be fighting and tussling and talking about what we're going to do and how we're going to thump and what streets we repping. So I didn't really like that. And I wish that we could just learn a better way to resolve conflict than all this rah, 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 because that to me shows that you don't have good conflict resolution, which can spill over into your relationships. My thoughts.
Love that, Sean. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Glenn.
Yeah, man, I agree with Sean. I think there's certain points where you have watched this show, you got to be ladylike at all costs. Unless somebody, even if somebody's coming after you, you can't be. I think it was Janelle last year. It was Tequila, right? Tequila, coming off Rah Rah last season. There's a point where you can disagree and we can still be cordial, right? And I think you have to know that millions of people are watching you, so you got to be able to be respectful in that manner. But you also see some of the guys get out the gate with some of the young ladies too on some of the, on the previews. And, you know, I think there's never a case for a guy to be disrespectful to a lady. In that sense, if you got to eliminate somebody, you got to tell them they're not ready to love. I think Tommy always says it each and every week. Be respectful, right? It means you're not ready to love on this show. It doesn't mean that no one's ever going to love you. No one's ever going to take care of you. Just the people in this pool, we have to eliminate somebody. So it's you. And I know people get caught in their feelings, but at the end of the day, just be respectful. And this season like is going to be a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to discuss. And I'm just here for the ride for the next 11, 12, 13 weeks. So.
Thank you, Glenn. JR, you are smiling hard. I love it. Go for it.
Bro, I thought that was the benediction, bro. That's why I'm smiling.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk in the afterlife. Because, bro, yeah.
Oh, JR, go for it. We'll just say, you know, the previews for the next few weeks looks kind of crazy. A couple of people are fighting and stuff like that. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, like looks like there's going to be some fisticuffs. There's going to be some romance. Got a dude with long braids coming in. Look like he's going to charm a few. Don't know what he's getting down on one knee for though. You know, especially so soon. So not sure what that's about. But yeah, looks like it's going to be a very event-filled season, and I'm looking forward to it.
Love that. Mercs, what's your thoughts on the upcoming season, baby?
I think that we are going to be disappointed yet entertained. So I think that this season is going to fulfill everything that we like drama-wise. It's going to give us petty drama, good drama, bad drama, stuff that doesn't make sense, fights, nail clawing. It's all of that. So how, and I know that Ready to Love's audience has been disappointed, you know, recently in the past seasons because it's no longer about love and where's the real love, and you know they feel like it's gotten so far from the I don't know, from the basis of the show when it first started. So I would just encourage y'all, don't look at it through that lens. That's no longer what the show is about. So if you want to be entertained, I think you're going to get that. I just don't know how much love we're going to see. It doesn't look like, I haven't seen anything that's been rocking my socks. But again, we have a whole nother mixer. We have another 10 people that we're going to be dealing with. So, but I think the drama's going to be there.
Absolutely. Can't lie to you. Drama is around, maybe. JJ?
I don't want to say I really have anything for the upcoming things because I don't really care about that part of it. I just found something interesting when I was looking Miss Misha reviews when she was going over the cast. Only 2 people have a different picture, which one was a Glenn, who we know we didn't show up, and it's a young lady, but I was trying to find it real quick. They both have background pictures that's not the regular gray standard background behind it, and I was wondering why that was. And then there's one other guy, I think he's named Antonio or something like that, who's not even pictured. So I'm wondering if he's coming in late.
Her name is Patricia. I talked about it a
Patricia,
little bit earlier.
the one in yellow. She's in yellow, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was wondering why their 2 backgrounds was different from everybody else's. Well, Glenn, we understand he didn't show up, so plus his whole outfit is different. And I was just wondering why they even still give him a picture if he not gonna still be a part of the show at some point. Why do we even care? Like, he didn't show up to the first one, he didn't do this. Why give him a picture? I'm not understanding. So that just had me puzzled. I don't know what On got going on. So I look forward to seeing the rest of the season and all the chaos and being here with y'all.
I'm with you on that. Listen, it's been a crazy episode. Okay, crazy probably a bit heavy of a word. It's not really been crazy. It's been an interesting first episode. First episodes are always a bit difficult because I feel like the new seasons since like time back ago, maybe like Houston season, they don't give us no background of people, so it's a bit harder to get into that first episode because we used to have the background, people telling us a bit more of their story, their VT role, etc., and then you get to see them play. Then you see them come into the show. Now we don't get that. We get frustrated into drama. It's almost like reading a book where there's no, you straight first page straight into the carnage. You know what I mean? Which I guess is another way of doing it. But since Discovery took over, you guys might want to look at going back to that original format, just bringing a bit of background to people, just add a little touch, okay? Yeah, just a little touch, okay? That if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? You're fixing things that didn't break, yeah. But yeah, no, I think that'll be very helpful in terms of getting to know the people more. Because right now, I don't have no affiliation to any of them. You know what I mean? As much as I joked about Malika, I don't have any affiliation to any of them. I don't have any connection to them at all. It's going to take me at least 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes before I can start to find myself in there. Whereas beforehand, people would have, their breakdown, etc., the casting episode, yeah, exactly, where you get to know them a little bit more and you really get to root for people straight away. But yeah, we don't have that now. So it is what it is. Maybe they will hear us for once in this time. But Sean, give us a benediction, please, on this episode and this conversation as well, please.
Okay, JR, this is now the benediction. This is the time for the benediction now. Okay. But listen, this was a good episode, folks. Listen, we got straight to it. So we seen some changes, we seen some switch ups, some new additions. Unfortunately, Glenn wasn't fit. Sometimes if it don't fit, you got to know when to hold them and fold them, and he knew it wasn't gonna work out. So hopefully, we are spared from him. And he is spared from us, but let's see, because, we know production likes to play. One thing we also learned is just choose your words when dating and in interactions and all your relationships. Choose your words wisely, because sometimes you can say the wrong thing and it could, change the whole course. We learned that from our good brother Will, and, maybe bad intentioned or not, maybe not bad intentioned, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So choose your words and keep your hands to yourself, unless you're openly invited. And if KOSHEIA is watching, please, I welcome you to stare into my soul and tell me what you see. Back to you, Coach.
Yeah, I love that. He said, tell me what you see. I love that. Listen, audience, thank you so much for joining us. Y'all came out 550 strong to watch us this Saturday. We'll be back next Saturday as well to discuss Ready to Love once more again and have a good time talking about, episode 2. I look forward to it going forward. Listen, please be safe out there, all right? Don't do anything I wouldn't do. It's not much I wouldn't do, so be careful. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be back next week. Much love, much appreciation. Ta-da! Bye-bye.